Good evening, folks. Welcome back to our Wednesday night Hobby Hangout. How's everybody doing? I hope you are all very, very well. And yes, as if you hadn't, if you hadn't seen from the title or from the chat at the minute, it is my birthday today. So, before I get started, I am going to pour myself. I've got myself a nice cheeky bottle of Chablis tonight, which is probably my favourite white wine. So I'm going to pour myself a drink. I haven't started without you. So, excuse me. Let's hope it's not corked, and then we can now celebrate in style. I've even went as far as bought myself some cheese as well, so I've got cheese and wine now. How very middle class of me. Wait, let's put that out of the way so it doesn't get knocked over. Let's see where we're up to here. Oh, let me just put my shade on a little touch as well. That's it. So I'm gonna pop off the top of the screen there. Who have we got in the chat? Let's have a look. Let's go back over here and have a check. So Scott Longworth was in nice and early. I should have just... Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Scott Longworth was in nice and early there saying happy birthday. I'm not going to keep saying happy birthday for everybody, so I thank you if you have said that. Mark Wright, Jason, ASDF, Blizzards, Christian. Hello, mate. Thanks for coming in. And we got Palmsy in there as well. We got Busey. We got Peter Kuhlman, Jeff Higdon. We got Debsworth as well. Ortega saying he can't stay long, but he wanted to pop in. Thank you very much, Ortega. Always appreciated. Busey saying it's time to get the party poppers out. We've got where else were we? We got Kieran there from Odd-Sided Dice Podcast. He says, I must admit, I've already started drinking and raise a glass to you. Yes, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers. We've got Yoakum in as well. He said, I hope you're feeling better today. Honestly, mate, I feel a million times better. I felt really ropey yesterday morning, really quite off. By the time I went to bed last night, I was already feeling pretty much better. But this morning, I felt 100% when I got up today. Robert saying he's here for a while. Couldn't miss my birthday. Thank you, mate. John S. still saying evening all. Happy birthday, boss. We've got Meats and Taverns. Nice, man. I like that name. It says, can't stay, I'm afraid, but wanted to drop by and say happy birthday, mate. Thank you very much. Welsh Wanderer's in as well. Nice to see you, fella. Says he can't keep his eyes open, but have a good one. Thank you, Dorian. Appreciate that, mate. Tasty Brain Drains in. Hello to you. Tony saying, evening all. Hope you're all doing good. Christopher Warden's in as well. Hello, mate. Where are we up to there? Tasty Brain Drain saying love that flannel. I forgot to put my BlackJack t-shirt on, I must admit. My wife saying don't forget this is because I actually made myself. So I think this is Wensleydale and cranberry cheese, and I got some grapes there as well. She said what she actually said, what a complete knob. But I'm gonna go with it. Where else we at? Tony saying happy birthday, you old git. I won't be eating on stream all night. I apologise. Redwell's in as well. Hello, Redwell. Hello, Krabby. Flip Movie Maker. Nice to see you, fella, as well. Tony Booth Leiden's in. Pomsy saying cheese, man. This is my kind of celebration. What can I say, mate? I had a bit of chocolate cake today as well. My mother-in-law made me an amazing chocolate cake, so I had some of that earlier on. But yeah, I thought I'd have a bit of cheese with the wine tonight. Andrew Fairbanks, nice to see you. Says every party needs a pooper. May I suggest myself? I don't know how you. That just made me think you were going to just have some kind of like bowel movements there, mate. You're going to be a pooper. Where was Laughing Cow Cheese? Jonathan Wyborn, and he says he's been building madly for a week. We've taken a break to paint Elite Dangerous tonight. I thought the fact that I'm planning on drinking this bottle of wine tonight, so I don't want to do anything too technical. I'm actually going to paint up my Dreadball. Look, I'll put it on my face so you can see it. I'm going to paint up some of my Dreadball minis. I'm not too worried about them being perfect. It means I can just slap some paint on them, get them done, and sit and enjoy a drink as well with you lot. And no doubt the chat tonight will be, if it's anything like last week's chat, where we went completely off piste and started talking about bacon butties and red sauce and brown sauce and all that kind of stuff. Who knows where we'll be by the end of the stream. David Moffat's in as well. Hello to you, mate. Duffy McCloskey. We've got Lord Maiden and Stu McMurtry as well. Hello to all of you lovely folks. So, let Let me just check a couple of things, make sure everything's stream health seems all right. I'm okay with that. Awesome. Right. I'll let you start. I'll let you lot start having a bit of a chat. Heathwell says, happy welcome to the world, dear. Thank you very much, mate. So we might as well dive in and we'll crack on in there. Yeah, I do intend to make the most of this as well. Normally I end up forgetting that I've got a drink, and it ends up just sitting there. Like how many cans of beer I've had in the past that have just sat there and went flat while I've been painting, but it ain't happening tonight, not with the good stuff. So let's get the brush out and let's make a start, folks. So I'm thinking, in honour of my team, LA Rams, I'm thinking I'm kind of going to go with that with this kind of blue and a bit of yellow, I think, and we'll paint them in honour of the Rams, I think. So now, until I get some colour on them, this focus is going to decide to keep picking up on something more interesting than a black model. So I think we'll start with a bit of was it Macragge blue or Cantor blue? Let's go with Cantor blue. It's a bit darker. We'll start with that. Or do we want to? Yeah, let's start with Cantor blue, I think. Yeah. I was weighing up the options there. David saying, eating is a hobby. It certainly is, mate. Joel Wrigley says, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Joel Wrigley. Horns fans in as well, saying he gets to catch a live stream. Happy birthday. I assume it's your birthday. It is my birthday, mate. It's my birthday today. As well says, bloody hell, apple juice. Yeah, it's fancy apple juice though, mate. It's every now and again I do treat myself to a nice bottle of wine. It happens very, very infrequently. Normally the cheap stuff's good enough, but yeah, I did buy myself a nice bottle tonight. Got Kodos is in as well. Hello, Kodos. Peter Cooman saying he's painting Cadian flak jackets today. Very nice, mate. Let me just get a brush out for getting some of this out. Scott's asking what everybody's painting tonight. Jason said, never chatted that much about sources before. It was pretty entertaining. Yeah, who knows where we'll get to tonight with that kind of chat from last week. It was pretty entertaining. I like these kind of rambles, the kind of the random stuff that we often end up chatting about, which is never a bad thing. So I'm just gonna thin that down a touch, and then I think we'll get cracking on. Horns fan says, you must have been loving Monday night in the USA with Rams beating Tom Brady. To be honest, mate, just winning keeps me happy, to be fair. The fact that it was Mr. Brady was just a nice little bonus. So let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to not be too careful with this tonight. I am just going to slap on this blue paint. Flying Mama says, is that Christmas music? It's not Christmas music. It's just kind of random chill beats, I think it's called, Flying Mammal. Hello to you, by the way. It's just a little bit of background stuff, basically, so that when I'm eating away on a piece of cheese or I'm having a drink of my wine, it's not just like endless silence. Tony says he's going to crack on with his bike once they finish it for the weekend, keep Kieran on his toes. And Jason says, yeah, Rams got an interception on Brady the other day. He looked crushed. I tell you what, it just shows, doesn't it, how much one person he was sort of like, you know, so relied upon and stuff by the Patriots, but he obviously had a hell of a good team around him in that team. People like Kronk and people like that. So yes, we'll not chat sports all night, even though we're doing Dread Ball teams. So yes, we're gonna paint this in honor of my team, I think. So we're just gonna slap the blue on, and then we'll get to lightening it up and stuff. So this is probably kind of like if I was just doing a bit of a quick job on something just to get it on the table. This is probably how I would paint, like rather than trying to do a little bit nicer on stream. That sometimes let's just get it on there and get it done. Flying Mammal says, happy birthday from me and Munch. Thank you very much, Ruth. Seb Coarseness says, best bottle of wine and the second cheapest one is the second cheapest one at the shop. It can be, mate, and very often that's exactly the kind of thing that I would pick up on. I'll tell you what I might do, folks. I might let me just adjust the focus on this let's go manual focus, and let me just focus in on the other way. Let me go the other way. Let me focus in on the model. There we go. And then it's not going to keep shifting focus while I'm painting this. I think it's just while it's just like kind of black and not sort of nothing too exciting. The focus doesn't want to focus on it at the minute, so we'll do it manually for a little while. Scott Longwood says, can anyone guess what's on my painting table at night? Does it have anything to do with Vikings made by any chance? I know they've been a big part of your painting over the recent times. How's the Vikings coming on? Good to see you getting sucked into that into the 3D printing stuff as well, mate, and making the most of that. Blizzards are saying putting the last bit of the Nurgle cultists on, then he tackled some Malifaux piggies. I do like the little Malifaux piggies, I'll be honest. So yes, we're not taking too much care here, folks. We are just getting that base coat down as quick as I can, and we'll just work our way through. I'll probably do 2 or 3 as a bit of a batch paint tonight, just to do that, I think. Horns fan says it sounds like the UK is slowly opening back up, maybe very slowly. Yeah, not as quickly as we'd like, mate, I think, to be honest. Healthwell says elevator music. Yes, it is license free background chill music. We had it on last week, actually. If anybody was around, let me know if it's too loud or anything like that. It's the same settings as last week, so it shouldn't be. But if it's annoying anybody, please let me know, and we can always play around with it a bit. But I can't hear it. If I could hear it, you would hear it coming back through the microphone. So I'm judging by what you tell me. Heathwell says it's perfect. Thanks, mate. Pomsy said he's liking the music. Yes, mate. It's like I sometimes just put it on myself, to be honest, when I'm just sitting sort of working. It's not like it's not too distracting. It's more just kind of takes away the silence and things. It doesn't make me want to kind of concentrate on it or anything like that, or kind of sing along, or that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not too bad. Where were we at there? Scott saying you know me so well. Horns Fancy says, is this a Dreadball mini? It is, mate. This is one of the Dreadball minis from the 2-player starter box. I gave them a coat of black primer. I've actually replaced the bases. I've changed the bases on these. They don't come with a base like this. I've actually cut them off their little discs and replaced these bases. But other than that, yeah, they're just standard Dreadball minis. They come in single piece. But I actually did prime them with, if anybody saw my cheap airbrush video, you'll have seen at the end of it, I had a little glimpse of this, which was my battery-powered airbrush. So I've been trying that out to build up to a review video on it. So I've been priming all of these with them yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was last night. Let me just get that focus back on again as well. There we go. That's we'll come out a bit. There we go. That's good enough. Yes. So I just used that cheap battery-powered airbrush to prime them. I was going to actually get some base colours down, but I decided against it. So, first one, it's which one we're doing? We're doing the jacks, I think, here. So yeah, we'll do the 4 jacks, I think. Hethwell saying it's perfect there. Lord Maiden's cracked open the Thatcher's Cloudy Lemonade Cider. Ooh, I do like a bit of cider, mate. It's more of a summer drink for me, to be fair, but I do like it. So let's get some more base coating on this one. Jerry's saying battery powered airbrush. What sorcery is this? 2 seconds and I'll quickly show you it, mate. So it is basically, there's a little plug in here which you plug into a USB and and basically this bottom bit here is a compressor and battery in one. So you switch it on, and that basically powers the air through it, and then you just basically pull back on that to operate like a normal airbrush. The airbrush itself is a lot kind of cheaper made, I think, even than the kind of like the cheap airbrushes that you get. But to be fair, it's adjustable on the end stop. It's single action. You press it, and the air is always coming out, and then you can basically just control the trigger on that. And the battery on this lasts about 30 minutes or so. It's pretty quiet as well. It's a lot more quiet than the bigger compressors. And for doing, let's pop it down. For doing kind of portable type jobs, like if you want to do a little bit of terrain making or something like that, and you want something that's just like portable, it's probably got some pretty good plus points. So yeah, once I've used it for a little bit longer, we'll get a bit of a better review of it. But yeah, stay tuned for that one. John Estell's on the brown ale. Nice choice, mate. I do like a brown ale, mate, to be honest. Mark saying, what colour blue is that? That is Cantor blue, mate. Oops, my hand wasn't over it. Cantor blue. Jared Harris is saying, happy birthday, mate. Thank you very much. VJ's in. Good morning to you, VJ. I appreciate it. It's probably a little bit early for a bit of a drink. Oh, he's just saying 7:45 a.m. is a bit early for a drink. Yeah, sorry, mate. It's a bit later here, though, so cut me some slack. Jared saying, that is cool as hell. Sounds great for base coating at night without waking the neighbours. Where did you get it from? I want one. It's from Amazon, mate, and it was 30 quid. So when I was buying, you know, when they did the video about I bought the cheapest airbrush on Amazon, like the cheapest airbrush kit, 2 of them were 30 quid. So I bought them both basically just to do some review videos and stuff. And it is a lot more quiet than a normal kind of big compressor. I'm not sure how it'll hold up long term, which is why I'm kind of using it as much as I can to get the review out of it. But yeah, as soon as I can report on it a little bit more. Let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that. Let's try putting that focus back to automatic now. Now we've got some colour on this bad boy. That should help. Oh, we'll do a little bit of zooming in as well. Where are we up to? Deb's saying never too early. Exactly. Busy saying it sounds like electric shaver. Yeah, it's probably not even as noisy as that. I tell you what, that's loving focusing on the background there, isn't it? Come here. There we go. Scott said he's celebrating not only Andy's birthday but also finally getting his permanent contract at work with an Oxhorn tankard of meat. Are you only now getting your permanent contract, mate? Bloody hell, buddy. Congrats on that one. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put this back to manual focus, I think, because we're going to be fighting that all night otherwise. Congrats on that, mate. Especially in the current climate at the minute with people losing jobs and all that kind of stuff. I'm really glad to hear some good news for you, mate. So congrats, well deserved. Good to hear some good news for a change. You just scroll back up a little bit there. Oops. Starting to pick up the chat now. Horns fan says, any plans to get into 3D printing yourself? I think you've mentioned having friends print stuff for you before. Yeah, Christian's done some stuff for me in the past, which has been absolutely awesome. And I did a live stream a little while ago where I was kind of, I felt like I was in the right place to kind of like for I now know what I need one for kind of thing and whether it would get used or not. And I talked about it a little bit on Monday night. I'm kind of just caught between a rock and a hard place at the minute where kind of made my mind up. I'll get a resin printer as opposed to like a PLA one, a plastic one, and it's just the fact that like the cheaper ones are like £150 or something now, like with Black Friday sales and stuff like that. They're really cheap now. However, the newer ones, which are like 4K printers and twice as fast and better quality. That's probably where I should spend my money, but essentially I don't really have sort of spare cash to be spending on that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of trapped between that. Do I get a cheap one because I can afford it, or do I just wait and save up and get the better quality one? And I think where I am is, I think I'm kind of at the point where I'm going to kind of wait and save up. And probably by the time I can afford one, the prices will have dropped a little bit as well anyway. So I think that's where we'll probably end up. But yeah, I think, to be honest, there's a couple of reasons I think a 3D printer is probably going to be a good idea now. Is it'll help me print in little bits of kind of scattered terrain and little bits of kind of bits and pieces for reviews and like for even some content to kind of to make about it. And then the other side of it as well is actually it'll be nice to print some kind of like sort of like resin busts and miniatures that I just want to paint for the sake of painting, and actually have it as a bit of a hobby for myself as well. Like instead of like obviously doing this kind of stuff for all I love it, it's kind of, I do a lot more of it now because it's my job. So it'd be nice to have a little bit of a hobby that wasn't directly kind of involved in my day-to-day work as well. So yeah, I think I'll get there at some point, but cost-wise, I just think it's just a little bit kind of more than I want to spend at this moment in time. Basically, every penny I get kind of gets reinvested back into the channel at the minute. Like I'm not really taking a wage from this at the minute. It's buying cameras, it's buying lights, it's buying cables, it's buying paints, all that kind of stuff at the minute, and I'm basically sort of throwing everything back into it as a business, basically, and reinvesting into it as a business. So that's where the money's going at the moment. Luxuries kind of have to take a bit of a backseat for a little while, but I'm all right with that. Where are we up to here? Well, saying, how's the air pressure? It's a bit of an odd gadget. It's pretty low. I'll be honest, mate. The air pressure is pretty low on it, but it's high enough for painting and stuff like that. So it's good enough for that. I don't think it's getting up towards kind of like, oh, Christian, what the hell was that? I just saw something out the corner of my eye. What did that say? Christian, thank you very much, mate. It says, happy birthday, boss. Buy yourself something nice or add it to your 3D printer funds. Oh, thanks so much, mate. I wasn't trying to hint at that, mate, but I really do appreciate it. I'd probably treat myself to something nice, actually, if you don't mind. I might get myself a model to paint. Something just nothing to do with like stuff for the channel. Just something to kind of relax and paint at my own leisure, like I was talking about the other night. So yeah, thank you, mate. I really do appreciate that. You already go above and beyond, mate, and you do a lot to help me that people never get to see as well. So thanks so much, mate. Yeah, massively appreciate it. Thank you. What was I chatting about? I threw me that. Let's have a little scroll up again. I kind of missed some bits there, I think. VJ was saying he managed to get Dreadball for $75, which is about 40 quid. How does that stack up compared to price in the UK? It's not bad, mate. I mean, Dreadball is about, I think it's about 50 or 60 quid brand new. You can sometimes pick it up like 25, 30 pound in sales and stuff like that. But to be honest, if you're getting it for about 40 quid, if that includes your delivery as well, you're not exactly being robbed, mate. You're still getting a decent deal. So I don't know how much postage to Australia would be, but even if I could get it for 25 quid to you, it would probably cost you more in the long run, mate. But yeah, I think now and again, Black Friday sales maybe sometimes, or like things like big show conventions, you sometimes get like a decent deal of about 25, 30 quid, but you're not a million miles off at 40 bud. So there's that one done. And then we only got, oh no, there's 4 jacks there. So for those that don't know, in Dreadball, you basically have 3 positions. You have what's called guards, which are kind of like your big sort of heavy defenders. You have jacks, which are like jack of all trades. They kind of somewhere in the middle between a defender and like a defender and an attacker. And then you have, I forget what they're called, like models that like throw the ball kind of thing, like the fast ones, and they're basically they're the ones that you score. You can kind of like, they're the ones that score points for you. They score the goals and that kind of stuff, and you can mix and match the positions basically. So that's what the armor's slightly different on these, between sort of something like that, who's like your more speedy one. Palmsy, thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. You lot are too kind, honestly. What was I just going to say there? Yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, you get 3 positions. I think that's essentially what I was saying. There's three different positions in Dread Ball, and basically you can mix and match them however you want. Like things like jacks can score goals, guards can't score goals. So there's no point. You couldn't just have an all guard team. You could, but you'd never score a goal, so you'll never win a game. And I can't remember off the top of my head now, but like there's tactics to kind of building your teams. Although the rules do kind of give you a recommended sort of starting roster to just kind of make a start with, and that kind of helps. Just if you just want to play like a board game kind of thing, you're not really sure, like sort of tactics and all that kind of stuff. There's all that kind of stuff just to get you started. So yeah, what were we up to with the chat and stuff? Dominic's in as well, says hi everyone, happy birthday you bald old weirdo. Thank you very much, mate. Tony Howell, thank you very much, mate. Another awesome donation as well. Thank you. What does it say? It says put this towards a nice bottle for you and Lou. Thank you very much, mate. Lou likes wine, yeah, maybe a little bit more than I do, to be fair. So yes. VG saying, what's that Andy's painting? It is this is the team that you get in the Dread Ball 2 starter box, mate. You get this, and you get, I think they're called Yindage, which are kind of like an alien race. These are the kind of robotic kind of, well, I don't even think they're robots. I think they're just like armored dudes. So yeah, I just thought I'd get some colour on them, mate. While I don't have to be too careful, we'll just get some painting on them, and then who knows, if I get them painted up and get the other team painted up, or buy a new team and get that one painted up, even we might even do it like a bat rep on the channel or something like that, because my wife does play this game with me. So even if lockdown release doesn't allow me to get people to come and play games, at least I'll kind of get something on the channel, because we had a little bit of a chat about that on Monday, and about it's becoming increasingly difficult the longer the restrictions go on. Not only is it hard for me to get people to play games against and stuff, but companies are not really sort of releasing new stuff either, because I think they're all kind of scared of releasing new stuff and nobody being able to play it. So yeah, it's I think that's obviously playing on companies' minds and stuff like that as well. So right, that gets those get with a little bit of base coating on them. Doesn't matter if I miss any bits, because it just kind of acts as shadow there anyway. Let me line them up so I know in which order I have applied that. So that is Cantor Blue. And then what we got next, we'll have, I think we're going to go with like a much lighter blue, and we'll bring it up a little bit. So I think we'll go with, which one? Horns Fan. Oh, thank you so much, Horns Fan. Really appreciate it. Let me just have a look and see what that says if I scroll down. Chipping into the Just for Fun model fund. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. You lot are awesome. Oh, never fail to surprise me. You lot do. Christian saying it's currently 60 quid in the Mantic web store. Yeah, that's the Mantic and you can normally pick it up for about 30. John's saying, but so £40 sounds decent. Diogo, hello Diogo, how you doing? He's assembling his Warcry Catacombs box. Nice work, mate. VJ's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow, mate. I will get to speak to you online, but yeah, I'll get on a live stream as well. Tom saying, is it a BattleTech mech? No, mate. It is. It's a Dreadball mini, as I think we've just been talking about there. I'm deciding what kind of blue to go with. Do I go with I'm gonna push it a little bit brighter. Is that too bright? You know what? Yeah, I think that might be too bright because I'm going to go with the yellow as well. I think we'll probably go with a Calgar blue, I think. John saying it's because they're contrast paints and the autofocus likes them in the background. It wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. I think it's because these are a bit of a darker colour. This is the reason why I normally do the Zenith highlights for when I'm painting on stream, because then at least the lights kind of pick it up quite well. Where else are we? Peter Stockdale, good evening to you, sir. Where else are we at? Mark Corley, hello, mate. He's saying it's 30 quid on Amazon at the moment over here. Yeah, I think by the time, if I was to pick one up, mate, and post it out to you, it'll probably cost you more in the long run. A bit more chat there, John. Scott Long was saying, do it, Andy, you won't regret it. Oh, yeah, I think we were talking about the minis, weren't you? Yeah, and Scott saying, you can't go wrong with the Elegoo Mars. That's kind of, so that was kind of the model, that was the one I was probably looking at, mate, to be fair. I was looking at Elegoo Mars. But I honestly think, like, at this stage, because, like, I think I said this on Monday, but if I already had one, I don't think I'd be kind of disappointed with the quality of it. But I think if I'm going to spend money on it now, it feels like I'd be better off probably waiting and sort of spending a little bit more on the higher quality one, because it just feels like I'm buying old technology, I think, and that's kind of that's really where my head's at, really. I'd be better off buying the better equipment. So yeah, I'll wait and I'll get it eventually. It's no hardship in the short term. So, but yeah, if I thought I would get like a lot of content out of it, then it's worth spending the money on it, like as a business kind of thing. But I'm just conscious that if I end up sort of getting too much content out of it, it really kind of pivots the channel into less about miniature gaming and more about 3D printing. So yeah, I'm just a little bit concerned about that kind of stuff. Nothing for people to worry about, but you know what I mean. Get a drink. Oh, nice. Tony's saying he's got that one as well. He's blown away with it. Scott's saying you can claim back the cost as it's for your job. I did consider that, mate, as well. Like, obviously, like, I think the difference is I don't really earn enough to be paying any taxes at the moment, so I can't really kind of claim it back technically if I'm not owed any if I'm not paying any tax, I won't be owed any money. Do you know what I mean? So it's all these things to weigh up, mate. We'll get there though. We'll get there. So yeah, all I'm doing is kind of just dry brushing this, really, just to lighten it up. So you should be able to see. Looks a little bit purpley on camera, but it's definitely blue. So yeah, we're just very lightly kind of dry brushing it to pick it up, and then I think we're going to come in and we're going to put some kind of yellow areas and some yellow stripes and stuff. Like I say, in honor of my team, the LA Rams. So Scott's saying he's got both the Mars and the Mars Pro. George says, I find a bottle of Macallan Gold helps me relax when painting. Unfortunately, it also hinders my painting after a few. To be honest, mate, it's part of the reason why I'm painting these Dreadball minis tonight. I've got a nice bottle of wine here that I'm kind of deciding to have a drink, and I know how I start now will not be how I finish by the end of the stream. So I'm just painting some stuff that and I mean this in the nicest possible way, but that I'm less concerned about the quality of. Sorry, I heard some weird noises. I didn't know what the hell that was there. So we'll just yeah. So I'm just kind of I'm just painting something tonight that as you can see, I'm just dry brushing and stuff and getting some colours into it. I'm not taking too much care at the minute. We'll tidy it up as we go as well, but yeah, I'm just focusing on getting some basic colours on them. It's not too dissimilar. Fiji saying the new Ratkin and Salamander sculpts for Vanguard looking good. Yeah, some of the new stuff, mate, it's looking awesome. Strikers, John Estelle, that's the one. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word striker. You know, I tell you what, I haven't even had a full glass of wine yet, and we're already forgetting names. Tony says, when you get a 3D printer, will you consider documenting your first steps on the video? I definitely will. If I do anything, it will definitely be. There's something flashing on my screen there. I've got no idea why it was flashing. I'll definitely kind of do that kind of like first steps, or like sort of like a complete beginner to it, like just getting started. So basically, I mean, I know a lot of you already have printers, but I'm sure that's why it was flashing. James Zorm, thank you very much, mate. It says happy birthday. Cheers, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, folks. I promise as well that I'll kind of anything that's donated tonight, I'll put it towards treating myself to something. I won't put it back into the business like I do with everything else. Normally, if anybody donates, it basically pays my wages and stuff like that. But as everybody's been super generous tonight, I'll make sure that I treat myself to a nice model to paint or something. So thank you very much, folks. Yes, I will definitely document that journey of kind of. So if anybody else is on the fence, complete beginner, and they want a bit of a no nonsense, like I've never tried, I don't have any experience of like kind of like sort of CAD design or anything like that. I'm not like a terrain builder, like I'm not a computer programmer or anything like that. So I am literally coming at this from a complete sort of newbie perspective. So when I eventually do get to that, then yes, I will definitely document the journey. I will definitely do that, because I think it could be interesting. Peter Max is just popping to say happy birthday on the 3D printing rabbit hole tomorrow. Yeah, I remember you saying, Peter, thank you very much, mate, by the way. I remember you saying you'd gone down that rabbit hole as well, and started with one thing in mind and ended up somewhere completely different. I think that's kind of where I've ended up, and that's why I don't really want to go in and buy the super cheap one now. And it is a fantastic deal, to be fair. And I'm not trying to put anybody else off it either. If you really are on the fence, I think it's more than good enough. There's plenty of people, some of them in this chat, who've all got that exact printer I'd been looking at and are all more than happy with it. But I just feel like I wanna. I'd hate to think I was basically buying that one and then replacing it, because obviously it's like speed and stuff like that, isn't it? Like the newer ones print a lot faster because of the monochrome screens and the 4K screens. They print a lot faster. So yeah, I've done a bit of research into them, so I do understand about them. But Vijay saying, turns out the company stock in Dreadball I found stocks all the Matic stuff in Australia at a discount and free shipping. Awesome, mate. That's good to see you've got a local supplier now. He's saying, yeah, don't really like either of the teams in the Dreadball box, to be honest. Would much cooler if it was Gaiman versus Forge Fathers. I think, mate, to be honest, I'm not even sure if Gaiman were around when the box set was first started. And to be honest, I think Gaiman, I think they could do with a little bit of a boost. I think from what I understand, they're a little bit weaker than some other teams. And they're going to get a little bit of a boost, I think, when the new supplement comes out in March. But yeah, I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of these two teams. But I used to think they were quite small. But I think I was so used to painting like Marines and stuff, they're small in comparison. But then if I compare them to just like I don't think I've got anything to hand, to be fair. But like if I compare them to something like a Necron or something, they're kind of like similar heights, so they're not as small as I seem to kind of sort of think they are. Yeah, so that's that with a little bit of dry brushing. That was the Calgar Blue, for anyone interested. That's that one. Right, now I'll just clean that brush up. Busey saying, check out Amazon, they got some cheap Dreadball stuff. Yeah. John's saying he thinks at some point there's going to be conversion kits for salamanders to make different units. Interesting. I didn't know that, mate. VG saying the included teams was the main thing that put me off getting it when I first looked at it. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, mate, for the price, you still need the board and that kind of stuff. You still need the cards and things. So the teams are good enough to kind of play the game. You know what I mean? They might not be to everyone's taste, but they're not bad. Right, I think we'll have a little bit of Avalanche Sunset to get the first initial yellow colours down. Tom Ryan says, I hope you guys get easier distribution on Blitzball, great light sports game. It's not distributed at all in the UK, mate, and there's no plans to be. I've been really lucky to get my hands on one thanks to a certain Mr. Barry Kleiber, if he's in the chat tonight. He got me one sent over from the US, and yes, it is a great game. But to be fair, Dreadball is also a great game as well. And to be honest, I've been quite happy just playing with the non-painted minis. The biggest thing that I did do was I did paint the bases around the edges to tell apart the guards from the strikers from the jacks, because I do find that the sculptor, they're not distinctive enough just glancing down at them from a bit of a distance. So yeah, I would definitely recommend kind of so you have basically like a rear attack zone. I painted these three kind of rear sides of the hex to show the front and back, and then I painted them like green, yellow and red for the three different positions. So I definitely recommend doing something like that. So let's get a little bit of colour onto these. In fact, before I do that, let's have a drink. Excuse me. Johnson, he managed to screw up his Yindage trying out a new chrome spray. I did it 2 months ago and it's still tacky. I've had paint like that before, mate. Excuse me. Jeff saying he's painting some Saga minis, having an Imperial IPA to celebrate. Thank you very much for celebrating with me, mate. Very nice of you to join us and join in the party spirit. Jacob says, reminds me of the CGI robots from the MNF promos. They do have that kind of feel to them, mate, don't they? It very much reminds me of Speedball. If anybody, or Speedball 2. If anybody is of my era, you'll remember the game on like Mega Drive or Sega Genesis and stuff. Speedball 2 was a game I put lots and lots of time into. Brutal Deluxe. Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe. Brutal Deluxe was the name of the team. And yeah, I was a big fan of Speedball 2. So I think that's why Dreadball's got a fond place in my heart. That it reminds me of my childhood video game era. I think we just had another donation there as well. Thank you very much. Is that Sonia? I can't see that. Let me scroll down. D Sonia, thank you very much. Happy birthday, sis. Thank you very much, buddy. Awesome of you. Really do appreciate that. Jeff seen, oh yeah, VJ seen they're a family business, even have a family photo on their homepage. That's quite nice, isn't it? Like, yeah, it's nice to know that you're actually supporting somebody's. I mean, I know you could say most businesses are a family business at some point, but yeah, I know what you mean. You do feel, especially in these current times, you do feel quite nice supporting somebody's business. So it's like when I've been sharing, or when Christian's been doing for me, sharing the link for Goblin Gaming. It's like, if you don't have a friendly local gaming store, like Goblin Gaming are still a friendly local gaming store. Like they're owned by one guy, I think, and they're an awesome bunch of folks that work there as well. So they're a kind of they're a relatively small business as well. So not only if you shop with Goblin Gaming, not only are you helping out a small business as well in a friendly local gaming store, you're also helping out my business as well if you shop through my affiliate link. So yeah, it's like, it's nice to be able to support kind of businesses where you can. But yeah, I would always recommend, if you can find there's another one as well. Oh, that was awesome. Thank you for, who was that? I can't see. Robert Zunk. Thank you, Rob. How are you doing, mate? Awesome. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, man. Yeah. Andrew Fairbanks says, how do you all pronounce the word pecan? It's pecan. Pecan, yeah. Is there another way to say it? Pecan? There's plenty of pecan. I would say pecan. Although, to be fair, we don't really have a lot of kind of pecans in the UK. Like, it's not like it's pecan and maple syrup, I think it is, yeah. Yeah, but it's definitely pecan. I need a cough, excuse me, I've got a bit of cheese stuck in my throat. I'll just wash it down, shall I? Tony said he's been very tempted by the lure of a 3D printer, but can't justify it. I don't need or want it enough to justify buying one. Yeah, I'm kind of like that, or I had been like that for quite some time, mate. I didn't really need it, like, exactly. I couldn't really justify it. But I think as time goes on, whilst I'm looking for other things to do, like in my spare time and things, something that gives me a little bit of an alternative interest alongside this kind of hobby as well. That's when it starts to come up. And yeah, and I see some awesome stuff online that people have been printing out that are not necessarily gaming related. They're more things like printing out busts of like kind of Marvel characters or Star Wars characters and stuff, or they're printing out awesome bits of terrain or something like that, or like diorama stuff. So I do like the idea of maybe that's something I might do actually over the Christmas period. It's going to be depending on what happens tomorrow when we hear more news about lockdown restrictions and what tier my area's in and stuff like that. If I still can't get to play games with people, I might do a bit of a like a diorama build or something like that. Just to give something to kind of focus my mind a bit. Right, we do need to paint that yellow piece there. I'm just hoping it doesn't look like a big banana penis. Yeah, it probably does. We'll have to get a bit more yellow around that, I think, just to distract from that. But we're just picking out some bits of armour that are like are sculpted slightly different. I think we'll come in here. Excuse me. I think we'll paint a little bit on the backs of the calves here as well. Let me scroll down a little bit. Fiji said, have to say buying a 3D printer was great for me. I've loved using it to do conversions and mini swaps. Yeah, I know you do a lot of that kind of stuff, mate. So I think for those that it's that do a lot of sort of scratch building or kit bashing or conversion work, I think they're an absolute blessing. But generally, if you're just the kind of person that just likes to buy a mini off the shelf and just then build it and paint it, you potentially don't get the same use out of it, unless it's a hobby that you're wanting to get into. So it's I kind of liken it to like photography. Most people have a camera on their phone, and that's good enough for kind of 90% of people. But there are some people who want to kind of have photography as more of a hobby, and so buying like a fancy DSLR or something like that might be more up their street. And I kind of see 3D printers a little bit like that. If you've got a use for them, or you've got a want for another hobby type thing, then yeah, exactly. Let's have a scroll down a bit more. James saying, enjoy your next sausage butty on me. Thank you very much. Carla just donated as well. I just flashed it out of the corner of my eye there. Carla, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Carla. That's hugely appreciated. You lot are being absolutely awesome tonight. Thank you so much, folks. James says his wife made a pecan pie today. Can't wait to eat it tomorrow. I don't think I've ever had pecan pie, mate. My mother-in-law made me a birthday cake today, and I must have. I mean, it's chocolate, but I think it might have like cherry or something in it as well. So, Jacob just donated as well. Thank you very much, mate. I can't read what that says. The writing's tiny on that little screen. It says a little birthday gift and thanks for the streams. You are welcome, mate. These streams only work because you lot keep turning up and joining in as well. Otherwise, it would just be me talking to a screen without any kind of interaction. So thank you, folks. Hugely, hugely appreciated. Yeah, as I said on Monday, it's just difficult times at the moment. Like when it comes to content and stuff, like I can't go and visit companies. I can't play games. I can't have anybody to my house to play games. Companies are not really releasing anything. So I feel like I'm going through a little bit of a dry spell at the minute, but I'll come out the other side. The live streams are still going to continue. I'll make as much kind of content about alternative stuff that I can. So if you folks have any burning questions or any burning subjects or sort of particular sort of anything you want me to talk about, feel free to give me a shout. I'm not suggesting that I'll always use everybody's ideas. There's reasons why some things work better than others when it comes to videos, why some things are great for live streams and why some things are better off as a separate video or not a good idea because it distracts from they're too different to what the core content is, for example. But I'm always happy to have suggestions. So don't feel like you can't suggest things. I'm just winging this, by the way, folks. I'm literally just putting bits of yellow on where I feel like it adds something. I have absolutely no plan. I'm kind of doing one as a test to see how it goes. If I put too much on, I can always paint it blue again. So I'm literally just kind of coming in and picking up some areas, and I'll tidy it up as I go as well. So it's not too bad. Let's have a quick look. Somebody messaging me, but I'm in the middle of a stream. I think we need a bit of yellow on the front here as well, just to give that something to focus on. Actually, I'll just come into there a bit. Where are we up to? VG saying, yeah, I wouldn't buy anything with non-monochromatic screen now. Lifespan and reliability compared to RGB screen isn't even close. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, mate. Like, no matter how cheap they are now, it feels like I'm buying kind of old tech now. So it does feel like I'm better off just spending the extra and kind of moving to the newer models. Where was that one? Fiji said, how did I miss a Blitzball comment? It's not a great game, it's the greatest game. Tony said, I just got a mail that my necromantic horrors are on their way. Got any colour preferences, VJ? Yeah, those necromantic horrors are really nice, the Blood Bowl ones. I do like those. They look pretty cool. Right, I think I'll probably do for the yellow around the legs. We just need to expand out now and do a little bit onto the shoulders and the chest, I think. So we'll keep winging it until I feel like I've gone too far. David Moffat says he painted the Dreadball team that has the fish-headed people with a tentacle lady in the last painting event I attended nearly a year ago. Yeah, events are, my God, events are kind of a bit of a distant memory at the minute. I really am missing not getting to see people. Oops, got a little bit over there. We'll have to tidy that one up. I think we'll colour in that on the back as well. holding my breath here while I'm doing that. I think we'll come down on the shoulders. Actually, I think we'll paint that kind of spherical shape on there. And that kind of kills two birds with one stone a little bit. Where are we up to there? Tony saying, surely you should have taken a swig every time you lose where they are in the chat. I tell you what, mate, if I did that, I'd have finished the bottle a long time ago. I definitely would have done. I do need to pick up the pace, so if I intend to finish this bottle tonight, that's for sure. Although at some point I'll probably give up on the painting and just end up having a booze in a chat, I think. But I am behind a little bit. John Ethel telling me about he loved that game. Speedball 2 was awesome. It was, mate. How far behind the chat? I'm about 10 minutes behind. I'll catch up. Horns fancy like Blitzball a lot. Already committed to Blackstone Fortress and Warcry. Don't have room for another franchise game. I think the thing with Blitzball is I'm kind of treating Blitzball very much like a board game, where at some point I might pick up more teams and stuff for it. However, in the short term, I'm more than happy to play with what's in the box, especially given the fact that I'm not getting external games. I've played games with my wife, and I've also played games with VJ on Tabletop Simulator as well, who's very kindly offered his services for anybody else. So if you do want to have a game of it, please do take him up on it. And because I've been playing more on Tabletop Simulator, I kind of don't feel the need to buy another team just yet. Certainly not until I've painted the teams that come in the box. I've also got the 2016 Blood Bowl as well, so I've got an orc team in that as well that I can paint up. So yeah, short term I'm not sort of in any rush to buy more teams for it yet. That's kind of why I'm just plugging away with this stuff. What do we think, folks? Yellow on the chest here in the centre. It needs a bit of spot focus, doesn't it? Yeah. We'll paint that in, I think. We'll paint it in. It needs a bit of that. So we'll paint that in. Christian saying, if you like what Annie does and want to help support the channel, check out Patreon. Yes, thank you very much, Christian. I actually think this month will be the first month that Patreon hasn't increased. We've had a couple of people, or 2 or 3 people, leave this month. And that's fine. I mean, nobody's sort of tied into it. That's absolutely fine. I've got no problems with that. But I think it's the first time that I'll have taken a little bit of a step back, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. We're coming up to Christmas. People have got a bit less money, so I completely understand that. But if anybody is interested in Patreon, please do check it out. It's essentially the main bulk of how I get paid, basically. So yeah, if you're thinking about sort of supporting it, it starts at $2, and you get access to the Patreon Discord for that. So yeah, if you want to know more, please do check it out, or feel free to ask me any questions. Right, I think that's starting to come together now. I think we'll paint a stripe across the top of the helmet, and then I think we'll not go too far before I wreck it, because what we'll do is we'll probably tidy some of that up with blue, just to tidy up some of the finer parts of it. And we'll probably highlight a bit more of the blue and stuff on that one, I think. But yeah, it's starting to come together. I'm happy enough with that for now. Right, we'll put that one there as a test piece. And then before I start the next one, I'm going to have a drink. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to close the lid up. I'll stick it back onto my other camera. I'm going to top my wine up. And I'm going to catch up on the chat for a bit first. Warwick Dark Edge says, a pecan. Is that what your grumpy grandpa threatened to make you use on a long car ride when he got tired of asking you to use the restroom? Tony saying, it's really uplifting to see the love for the boss tonight. You all rock. I don't think myself as the boss, mate, but I know what you mean. It's a kind of like an affectionate term. It's awesome. It is really nice. Do you know what it is for? I mean, most people would want to take a day off when it was their birthday. I've been really looking forward to kind of coming and spending my birthday with you lot and come and hanging out and having a bit of a chat. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me, folks. Peter says Arnold's lucky to be absent tonight. Horns fan says, yeah, just noticed 9.4k subs, working our way to 10k, aren't we? I know, mate. I'm so close now. Let me have a quick check and see how we're doing. I'm at officially, because YouTube rounds it up, so I get to see the actual number. It's 9,405. So I'm 595 subscribers away from 10,000. I would have loved to have done it this year. I think it's a bit of a stretch now. I mean, it's still technically possible to get 600 subscribers by the end of the year, but it's going to take a really like an outstanding video, I think, to do that. But yeah, it's getting close, mate. Palmsy saying to be bankrupt. Jim saying you've got to head out. We'll check the rest of the stream later. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I always forget about Thanksgiving as well. Happy Thanksgiving, folks, as well. Tony says, yes, I have a burning question. How do you get through Death Trap Dungeon in one piece? I don't think you do, mate. I think that's the whole point. I don't think you do get through it in one piece. Joel saying, never investigate a rock grub hole is a good start. That is a good start. We'll always learn from that. Andrew says, alright, parents have got out the musical instruments. Gonna have to let you all go. Happy birthday, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much, man. Christian says, see you later. VG said he's gotten pretty addicted to playing a new team each time he plays Blitzball. To be honest, mate, it's part of the fun that you don't feel like you have to kind of like learn new rules, if you like. There's a few little bits and pieces that each team do differently, but actually it just brings a bit of flavour to the game. Jared saying, I'm beat and I'm going to have to go to bed. Good night all. Happy birthday, Andy. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you coming in. Bit of chat going on backwards and forwards there. And Christian sharing the link there for the new merch too. So I did catch up. Thank you very much, folks. So let's get the paint back out then. I can definitely tell just looking at these minis, I'm not paying anywhere near the level of attention I normally would. But you know what? That's fine. I'm enjoying it. And that's all that counts. So, I'll tell you what, I do need to be a little tidier. Steve Evans is in as well. Says, evening all. Sorry I'm late. Do not apologise, mate. Really nice to see you here. Mike G's in as well. Saying, sorry I'm late. That's all right, mate. One person leaves, one person enters. We've got a nice little train going there. Lovely to see you all come in, and I appreciate you coming and saying hi. Scott says, I need to plan my colour schemes for my God tier. Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I kind of decided I was going to try and stick the main colours to the different kind of colours of the factions. So like Slayers and Maelstroms and stuff. So that's the way I've kind of mentally I've done it. It's what I did for Finvar. And I think over time I might tweak a few bits and pieces, but essentially I think, excuse me, that's what I've been kind of planning to do. So yeah, they're pretty nice minis. Like, bearing in mind they're just single piece plastics, I'm more than happy with them. Get that into there. Steve said, happy birthday. Thank you very much, mate. Low maintenance saying, enjoy yourself, you're better than you think. To be honest, mate, I appreciate that, thank you. Once these have had a little bit of kind of tidying up and a little bit of washing the recesses, they always come good. But I think it's like with this kind of one, it's kind of at that stage where all I can see are mistakes at the minute. But I know it'll all come together and it'll all kind of tidy up. It's just at that weird stage where it's more mistakes than than good painting at the minute. But yeah, it'll get there. And I'm enjoying myself, so that's all that matters. What are we up to there? Tom Wilkinson says, evening and happy birthday. 29, right? I wish, mate. It's been a long time since I was 29. Either in waist size or in age. I'm 45, mate. 45 tonight. So, and officially, actually, I was born at midnight. So technically, I'm still really 44. So, there you go. But I don't feel 45, that's for sure. Mate G, 2 minutes now, one man leaves. Pomsy saying, enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. You're not wrong, mate. It's later than you think, as they say. Vijay's got to go out and do grocery shopping before he's having a games day. Games day, mate. What are those things? Enjoy, buddy, and I hope you roll plenty of sixes should the game require it. But thanks for coming in, mate. Appreciate that. And have a good day. And enjoy your birthday tomorrow. I'm sure you will, but I'll speak to you. I'll speak to you before then, mate. 45-inch waist. No, I'm not quite a 45-inch waist, mate. Not yet, anyway. Who knows? The longer lockdown goes on, I might get there. I did drop a size when I went on a bit of my diet and my exercise and stuff. I must admit I've kind of slipped a little bit, but I did get that Nintendo Switch Ring Fit for my birthday, so that might help me shed a few extra pounds. I'm looking forward to giving that a go, actually. I did also get a box of fudge as well. I absolutely love fudge, so I will polish off the fudge before I start doing exercise, I think. I also got a bottle of Jack Daniel's apple liqueur, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Not one to be drinking on the stream tonight for sure, but yeah, I'm sure I'll report back on that one. If anybody wants a review on Jack Daniel's liqueurs, I'm sure I can manage something like that. I'm a big fan of the honey one, so Scott said he's going to do Finvar Warband, the colours of Altair from the first Assassin's Creed. It's definitely got that look about him, mate, hasn't he? It definitely got that with that hood down and stuff. And especially like the followers and stuff as well. They've definitely got that Assassin's Creed look about them. That would look awesome, mate. I look forward to see what you do with that. Right, did I paint that bit on there? No, I didn't. It was just a kind of cod piece underneath. Mark says, did you take the figures off the bases or glue them straight onto a new base? I actually cut them off the bases, mate. So I think I took a knife to them and I cut away the old plastic circular bits, and then I bought these hex bases on eBay. They were super cheap, just normal hex bases. And I actually originally bought them for Aristea, but they're the perfect size for Dreadball as well. So I put this team on those. Right, straight down the side. Peter saying that's the deal. I thought he didn't look 45 yet. Yeah, that's it, mate. 45-inch waist. I am very quickly approaching that, mate. I'm trying not to though. Steve saying, only about 6 months older than me, matey. I'll tell you what, mate, I don't feel it, mind. I feel probably as young as I've felt in years. That's what not working for the man does. It's put years on my life. It definitely has. It would help, wouldn't it, if I put this on camera for you folks? Brother Pugnaz says, happy birthday, mate. Just popping in to congratulate you. Good night. Thank you very much for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate that. Tony saying his youngest was born on Christmas Eve. It was an amusing time. Smuggling a Christmas dinner into hospital on Christmas Day. I'll tell you what, mate. My oldest lads, who just turned 18 last week, they were obviously born middle to back end of November, but they were twins, and they were 9 weeks premature, so they had to stay in hospital when they were first born, on the sort of critical care ward type thing. There was nothing specifically wrong with them other than the fact that they were tiny. I think Adam was like £3 in weight, and Sam was like £2.10. They were like really, really small when they were born, and they just needed to stay in hospital a little bit to make sure that they were putting on weight and stuff, and make sure that they were healthy. And we managed to take them out on Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve 18 years ago, and that was quite an emotional time at the time. Being able to take the babies home for Christmas was quite nice. So whilst they weren't born on Christmas Eve, mate, I've still got kind of fond memories of getting them home on Christmas Eve. These days, like I say, they've just turned 18. a lot of those happy memories feel like a long time ago now. So, but yeah, they were like little hamsters when they were born. They're not like little hamsters now, that's for sure. I think Adam's like a size 13 shoe or something like that now. He's massive. Oops. Although to be fair, they're still skinny little kids. I don't think they're still not putting weight on. Where are we up to? Tonio saying happy birthday. Thank you, Tonio. Thank you very much. Lobin saying models are glued straight onto a new base. That's right, mate. Yeah, Mountain Gremlin Games. Hello to you. How are you doing, mate? How's things over on your side of the water, mate? Over in Ireland. You're in Ireland, mate, I believe, aren't you? Yeah. Busey saying the music sounds like Curry's PC World Christmas advert. Not knocking it though. I can't hear it, mate. I've got no idea what it sounds like. I listened to one or two of the tracks, and then it was like, yeah, that's all right. But it just plays them in a random shuffle, and there must be about 500 tunes in the random shuffle. So I don't think I've necessarily heard them all personally. Let's hope there's nothing too bad in there. Suddenly start screaming and shouting or something like that, or swearing. Then we'll have some trouble. Right, back to the coughs. We did as well, didn't we? Yeah, Lord Mincing, they come with a clear base. They come on like a little circular disc, that a bit like the kind of Kings of War minis, and then that little plastic sort of circular base glues into like a clear hexagon disc. But I find them quite thin, so I thought I'd replace them just because I had some. Tony says, I'm not sure you're supposed to feed babies Christmas dinner. Carla says, my daughter was born on Labour Day, so I was in labour on Labour Day. Oh my goodness. Carla, what is Labour Day? We don't have Labour Day in the UK. So what I've heard of Labour Day, but I don't know what it is, or what you're celebrating, or what you're kind of remembering, or anything like that. So what is Labour Day to you US folks? Tom says, look, on the bright side, you can start charging them rent now. I would if they earned any money, mate. Yeah, I think they're worth more than I am, to be fair. Sam's started working recently for his granddad, so he's got a little bit of money coming in. But they're in the middle of doing their A-levels at the moment, so I think they're kind of saving for uni and stuff and all of those kind of good things. Steve said his youngest turned 18 in January and recently started his first job. I cry like a baby. I'll be crying when they start earning money. I'll be like, oh, finally, they're finally earning some money. But no, they're good kids. I've got no complaints about them. I'm kind of jesting, really. They are really good kids. I better say that just in case one of them is in the stream. It's one of my regrets about this lockdown is not managing to take them out on their 18th birthday, but we will make up for it when we get the chance. Right, that one will do for that, I think. John saying that's my birthday. It's an odd time of year, given my profession, a very busy day. Yes, mate. It's what a time for you to have your. I mean, obviously you were born before you decided to go into the line of work that you're in. But yeah, I can imagine, mate. You certainly won't be getting your birthday off. That's for sure. How long have you been doing what you do, John? I don't want to say it out loud in case you don't want me to kind of mention it. But how long have you done the job that you do? All right. Marcos is coming in as well. Says, sorry if I'm late. Don't worry, mate. He says, happy birthday, mate. Look forward to listening to your rumble while I'm relaxed with Iron Man. I saw you'd been painting up that one, mate, following the Sarastro painting tutorial, and it was looking rather awesome, mate. So yeah, just I can't wait to see it finished. No rush, like just get it done. That's what we're doing that bit as well, aren't we? Tasty Brain Drain, sorry I missed it. What is Andy painting? I am painting one of the Dreadball minis, mate. So this is one of the, I don't think it's the Trontech 29ers. I think they were in season 1. I forget what the team's called, mate, but yeah, it's one of the two teams that comes in the Dreadball 2 starter box. The 2-player starter set. So yeah, I'm just painting one of them, mate, and I am painting them in the colours of my beloved Los Angeles Rams. So why the hell not, eh? Just for the fun of it. So what's on people's Christmas lists then, folks? Has anybody put any gaming stuff onto their Christmas list? Is anybody sort of wanting something particularly special? Like an airbrush, or are you buying some kind of hobby equipment, or is anybody saving up for a particular game, or ask the family to get particular models or something like that? Be good to know what you're all looking forward to. Tiberius says, happy birthday, Andy. Looks like you're getting a stream without a thumb down at present. It'll take a while, mate. They normally wait until it's over and then come and thumbs it down, but it wouldn't be the same without it. I think it's a sign of success if I've got a secret hater. So yeah, I take that. If somebody is disliking what I do, at least they're taking notice of it. If I dislike something, I just don't bother with it. So, Draconis All Stars, thank you very much, Lord Maiden. That's what it was. Marcus says, now we all want to know. Carla says, in the US, it's September the 1st, celebrates the labour movement. In Panama, it celebrates people who work in general, and it's in May the 1st. That's interesting. We don't have anything like that in the UK that I'm aware of. We certainly don't have a Labour Day. think we celebrate people who work by just sending them to work. John saying did a 4-year curacy, which is like an apprenticeship, and started as a proper vicar a week before lockdown. Did you really, mate? I assumed that you were already a vicar before that. Wow, mate. Talk about timing, eh? I bet that's not exactly how you planned it. I don't think it's how anybody planned anything at the minute, but especially not just starting something like that. So do you have your own sort of parish that you look after, mate? And is that how's things been for you during this then? Because it's not necessarily a job we know a lot about. Do you know what I mean? Like your average person, I don't think really fully understands, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. I don't think we fully understand just all of the things. It's not like you just work Sundays. Tasty Bringes, I was so glad that they beat the Bucks the other night. Not that I hate the Bucks, I just want to see the Saints win the division. Oh, the problem is that the Saints, that's our bogey team, mate. So to be honest, I don't really want to see the Saints win the division, because then that means we probably will end up with them in the playoffs if we get that far this time. So, but yeah, it's we're doing all right. We lost a couple of games we could have won. We won a couple of games we should have probably lost. So yeah, I'm happy with the way the season's going at the minute. We're not peaking too early. We're leaving some in the tank for playoffs. What was I doing again? Yeah, that little bit on the back. Sorry, folks, I'm not even watching the camera tonight. I'm in a little world of my own, just painting away, having my wine. Speaking of which, let me have a little drink as well. Where was that up to? Peter says he wants some ECW for Christmas. That always makes me think of like a wrestling thing. I know it's English Civil War, but it always makes me think of some kind of like knockoff wrestling thing. Carla says his friendly looking game store's got a bunch of Indomitors boxes, and I'm tempted. I think all of the stores seem to be getting their made to order boxes in now, don't they? Scott's asking for all the expansions for God tier. We need to get some games in at some point, mate, when we can do. Steve said he's got a new Xbox that's covered Christmas for the next few years. So, I'll tell you what. I'm going to wash my brush and we're going to have a bit of a chat for a while. Because I'm genuinely interested in Xbox and PlayStation stuff. So, what are you an Xbox kind of... do you prefer Xbox, mate? And if so, why Xbox over PlayStation? Because I've been fortunate. I've had a good job for a number of years. And I could afford to buy both Xbox and PlayStation. And I've bought them both at launch since they came out. And this is the first year I have not bought either of them at launch, essentially because I'm not really playing them so much now. But I'd be tempted with PlayStation purely for the games, for the exclusives. So what makes you go Xbox, mate? I'm just genuinely interested. David says, I wish my daughter has a good Christmas. It'd be pretty hard for this year with all that isolation from the family. I'll tell you what, mate, it's awful. There's a lot of that getting completely missed at the minute about how it's affecting people. Blizzard says just hoping to get his Armada and Malifaux pre-orders by Christmas. I'm sure you'll get your Armada stuff, definitely. Malifaux I don't know about, but I think Armada's on its way. Christian said there's nothing on his birthday and Christmas list this year. Your birthday December, isn't it, Christian? I think. Jason says he's asking for old fat man for the Dreadballer Dead Zone starter and a budget airbrush and a stocking. Nice one, mate. We do what we do with my wife's family. We do like a Secret Santa thing. So instead of like everybody buying for everybody, which gets quite expensive, we set like a £50 limit, and everybody basically gets a random person in the Secret Santa. So everybody gets a gift, but then everybody only has to buy for one other person kind of thing, rather than having to buy like lots of multiple gifts. So me asking what I wanted, kind of like, or somebody is asking what I want in my Secret Santa, is there anything that I would like? And I'll be honest, I've kind of struggled. this is how rock and roll my life is now. I've asked for 3 Batman comics and some latte mugs for my coffee. That's it. Coffee cups and Batman comics. That's what I've asked for. Ed's saying May Day bank holiday is the equivalent. I think the difference is we don't really celebrate anything though, do we? It's just May Day, isn't it? Tony's still wondering about Mansions of Madness as a potential Prezi. Can you play that solo, mate? Can you? I don't really know the game that well. Scott's in. He's asking John what parish he's in. Disco Dolly. That's what May Day is. But it's not. It's not a celebration or anything, though, is it? Like, it's purely just a bank holiday in the same way that like August bank holiday is just a bank holiday. Unless I've completely missed that for 45 years of my life. David says I did pick up the Flames of War Fury box for Christmas present today, though. Very nice, mate. ASDF says best with a group that gets into the scenarios. Yeah, kind of play it like that. Never forget that push is an action. That is super handy. Lord Maiden says, wasn't ECW a name of a wrestling company before it went under? That's definitely what I was thinking of. That's definitely why it was stuck in my head, maybe. Why I was thinking about it, like a knockoff wrestling thing. Scott's saying, yeah, definitely, mate. And he's an Xbox gamer as well. Tom says, managed to get the PS5 on release day, so I'm not sure I'll be allowed any presents now. Congrats on managing to get it, mate, anyway. John says, yeah, a lot more time on the computer doing YouTube stuff and phone calls than I expected. Plus more funerals than usual, unfortunately. The accuracy was vigoring but hadn't experienced boss supervising. That's cool, mate. Marcus said, just made it. Afternoon, everyone. Happy birthday, Andy. I apologise for eating on stream, folks. I would never normally eat on stream. I'm sure the last thing you need to hear is me munching away, but it's my birthday and I don't give a toss. That sounded terrible. Tasty Brains says, I'm hoping on getting some Star Wars Legion figures in the core rulebook for the Sigmata RPG. I've not heard of that, mate. Speaking of not heard of it, somebody in the YouTube comments of one of my videos, I think it was the Blood Bowl one, asked me about had I read something galactic books, which are kind of like, I don't know if I can remember what it was called now. I have to see if I can actually find it in the comments. Let's see if we can find it, because I looked at them and they looked really cool. Actually, I was thinking about downloading one. Galactic Football League series. Have you read any of the Galactic Football League series of books by Scott Seigler? It looked really, really cool. So I might actually have a Yoakum. Thank you very much, mate. This is not for you, Andy. For your son who turned 18. What the heck? This might give you both a future drink at your favourite pub, I hope. Thank you very much, mate. We have planned, the three of us, to go out next Saturday. Not this Saturday coming, the Saturday after when lockdown's over, assuming that pubs are open again in our region. So yes, if that is the case, I will definitely use that to treat them to a beer each. Thank you very much, man. Let me Steve's saying, yeah, I do, mainly because all of his friends play. I have a PS4 but play the Xbox more. Mainly play Elder Scrolls Online when I run my own. Oh, I forgot you did that, mate. Yeah, that's right. I think it's one of the main drivers, isn't it? If most of your friends play one particular, that's the one you'll do. Like the people I've generally played with in the past. I used to play a lot of Titanfall with like online clans when I played a lot of online stuff. And I used to play Call of Duty 2 back in the day as well on Xbox. But I kind of migrated over to PlayStation when I played a lot more stuff. And I like my brother-in-law, who I used to play online with, he plays PlayStation, so I tended to play PlayStation with him and stuff. But these days, I just don't have the time, and I certainly don't have the time to invest in stuff to kind of get good enough at it. I've been playing a little bit actually over the last week or so. I've been playing a lot more Switch stuff. I've gone back to finish off Luigi's Mansion, which I've not completed yet. And I've been tempted to get to pick up the old Batman games as well and go back and play them again. But something that's just like solo, single player, no online stuff, if you like. John says, yeah, a lot more time. Oh yeah, we've just been talking about that one. Marcus saying, just made it. Nice one, mate. He says, it might take me a while, but send you some old Batman comics. I love Batman. Batman is by far and away my favourite kind of like graphic novel, comic book stuff. I've got quite a lot of it, but there's a big sort of story arc that I never really went through, which is one of the more basic ones, to be fair, as well, with kind of Court of Owls and that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of pick up some of those ones, those trades. Scott says he's planning on printing a 3D printing a Star Wars Legion droid army. Nice one, mate. Some more dice for tasty brain drain. You can never have enough dice, can you? Scott said it's your birthday, enjoy it. Lawman says don't worry about it, eat and drink away. By the time I got to that, I've already been munched away, but I appreciate that you all don't mind anyway. Lawman said looking forward to my birthday or Christmas. Why is that, mate? Is it just because of current sort of situations and stuff, mate, or is there more to it? Again, Yoakum, thank you very much for the donation, my friend. Where was that one? Scott says, I asked for the Ragnarok rulebook. Nice one. Steve says the guild is called the Midland Muckers, and it's been a stay for my soul, a salve for my soul during lockdown. Saved me from myself. I did try to get back into video games again, because of just not interacting with people and not socializing and stuff. But I am so bad at them now. I haven't played online games in such a long time. Like my reflexes and stuff, I am so bad that I just feel like I'm holding people back. So yeah, I kind of just give up on it again. Everybody said eat and drink. Thank you very much. Christian said May Day used to be the celebration of spring, maypoles, Morris dancing, plus the make. Yeah, that makes more sense. I remember that, mate. I remember like the maypoles and stuff. Tony saying Andy's off doing the big market. To be honest, mate, I'm not sure we'll be able to. I think even if we're in like tier 2, which reopens the pubs, it'll only be if you're having a meal or something like that. So I'll probably have to take them for like a nice meal somewhere so I can have a few beers. And there ain't nowhere nice sells food in the big market, that's for sure. Mark says I've asked for the new Warcry and Adeptus Titanicus corset. Nice one. Kirsten says as well, saying happy birthday. Happy birthday to you too, Kirsten. Yes, it is also Kirsten's birthday today. So anybody waiting for the Euromada stuff, Kirsten is the person that will have grafted well through the lockdowns and stuff to make sure you all get your stuff. So yeah, happy birthday to Kirsten as well, please. Warwick says he's got to head out. Happy birthday, thank you very much. Scott said I have all the Batman games for Xbox, amazing games. Yeah, I've been tempted to pick them up on Steam, mate, because I can't. I think Batman Arkham Origins isn't available on PS4, and it's available on Xbox 360. But it's still quite expensive, so I was tempted just to go back and pick it up on Steam and play them on PC. John's in there. Kirsten's birthday as well. Tom Ryan is saying, check out Tinian's run on Detective Comics. I don't think I've seen those ones, mate, yet. Where are we at? Kirsten, cake for tomorrow. Nice one, Kirsten. Lord Baden saying my birthday is next week, so really uncertain of what's going on with lockdown and Christmas. We miss my grandparents, but the first Christmas I miss them. Yeah, it's awful, mate, isn't it? This has been, I mean, I haven't had a bad birthday, do you know what I mean? This has been awesome to hang out with you lot, to be fair. You've kind of saved what would have been an awful birthday, so. Peter Kuhlman, thank you very much, mate. Says whatever special mini you treat yourself to, I'm paying for its fancy hat, you chump. Thank you very much, man. And Tony Booth Leiden as well, happy birthday. Haven't been able to buy you a pint this year, so here you go, you'll have to get it yourself. Thank you, man. You lot today absolutely blow me away. Thank you so much. Tasty Brain to instance, Sigmar actually is the full. Let me skip back a second. Tom Wiltonson saying big market, that brings back some uni memories. Yeah, it brings back some memories for me too. Not necessarily all nice ones. Sigmar Actually, the full name is Sigmata. The Signal Kills Fascists. It's an indie cyberpunk RPG set in the near future where fascist government has come to power. Sounds like it might be a history book one day, mate. Blizzard is saying happy birthday to Kirsten as well. Yeah, happy birthday, Kirsten. I hope it's not been too bad a day for you, and I hope you at least get to relax for what's left of it. Rob Benson, yeah, Christmas not been the yeah, it's really hard, man, isn't it? Like, yeah. Where are we up to here? Scottian, happy birthday. Can I have free martyr? Christian sharing the link there for Goblin Gaiman as well. Thank you very much. Actually, folks, while I remember on, Goblin Gaiman have just done a battle report for Armada. And if you're not a subscriber to the Goblin Gaiman YouTube channel, please go and check them out. Go and check out their Armada video, and drop them a sub. Comment in the video. Let them know you kind of like BlackJack Legacy sent you over. It helps me. It helps them. Everybody's a winner. Scott's saying, what, you work there? Yes, Kirsten works in the resin room. She's part of the resin casting team. Tom says, a couple of years ago, focused on the Bat family and how terrible Bruce is at having a family. I like all of that stuff. I quite like, we briefly spoke about it on Monday as well, about the Batman Who Laughs. I like a lot of the kind of the multiverse stuff, and I like a lot of the older Bruce stuff, like Dark Knight Returns and that kind of stuff. I like the older Bruce stuff. Death in the Family, that kind of stuff. Kirsten says a colleague bought me a pizza and another bought me a cake. You've been looked after, then that's okay. Martin, yeah, I have the original old copy of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns if you want any. I've got The Dark Knight Returns, mate, actually. I've just finished actually watching the animated movies. So I watched Year One and I watched The Dark Knight Returns as well. I'd never seen any of the animated stuff, if I'm honest. I've been enjoying those. But yeah, thank you for the offer. Scott says, Kirsten, you can pinch one he's had. Lobin says the Killing Joke is great. The Killing Joke is awesome, mate. There are some really, really good stories in that Batman arc. I don't think I've ever told anybody this before. I used to have a Batman tattoo. I got a tattoo on my arm when I was 16 of the Batman symbol. And then years later, when I got all the tattoos I've got now, like all of this stuff, I had it covered over. But yeah, I used to have a Batman tattoo. Tizzy Brain Drain says Dark Knight Returns is still one of my favourite comics. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that whole kind of... I like Year One, about kind of Jim Gordon coming to Gotham and kind of like the backstory and really explaining that stuff. But there's just something about Dark Knight Returns which is kind of like what happens after years of basically like kind of Gotham and the whole story about Harvey Dent getting his kind of surgery and stuff and putting his face right, and like the Joker's like locked up at this point in Arkham, and it's just a really, really good story. Kirsten says, I thought you said Muppet verse. No, the multiverse. The Muppets Take Gotham, that's the one you want to see, isn't it? Gotham by Gaslight. I don't think I've read that, mate, actually. Yeah, Thompson, I love Tinian's run. You're going to say, what a party this is. It is, it's awesome. I'm having a great time. Lobin, since you have seen the animated series of Batman Beyond. Yes, I've seen the old Batman, the animated series. I haven't seen the animated movies that they did. There's quite a few of them online now. There's some of them like on Netflix and Amazon and stuff. Like there's like Batman Ninja. I think I noticed was on Amazon the other day. Yeah, Batman Gotham by Gaslight is amazing. Love Batman Year One. Yeah, it's cool. Blizzard's saying all those are great, but the ultimate Batman was the one with Adam West. Yeah. Let's not go there. Tom says, don't you wish there was a solid Batman miniatures game? Do you know what it is, mate? I have never bought into Night Models Batman. I just don't trust Night Models as far as I can throw them. And I am absolutely gutted they are the company that has that game. because I love Batman. Lord Maid's The Brave and the Bold was awesome. Batman animated series. I was watching the I was watching a YouTube video about how Warner Brothers basically developed that, and essentially Warner Brothers Animated Studios came out of Steven Spielberg, and Warner Brothers wanted to basically, whatever Steven Spielberg said, they kind of wanted to kind of they wanted to appease him basically, and he wanted this animated studio to be given a kind of like a free rein. And essentially what happened was the people doing the Batman series had a lot more free rein than they ordinarily would have done. They got like proper full orchestras for the budget and stuff, and that's why the original animated series was just absolutely fantastic, and it kind of changed animated shows from being kids TV shows to being a bit more kind of edgy and a bit more gritty. Busey, thank you very much. She says, happy birthday, I'm trying to donate in Swedish coronas, but it won't let me. Thank you very much, mate. Where we're up to? Sam the Eagle would be Batman. He definitely would be. Kirsty, Batman Beyond is wonderful, as is The Brave and the Bold. I love that kind of like, sort of like noir kind of sort of styling to that whole thing. The kind of the big broad shoulders coming down to the little kind of skinny ankle type things. There's just the real, like, imagining kind of Gotham as that like 1930s or like art deco type thing is brilliant. Scott saying Batman meets Scooby-Doo is great for the kids. My little lad loves Scooby-Doo, so I might have to look out for that one. Tom saying good night Andy, happy birthday again. He's off to carry on dying while playing Demon Souls. Best of luck, mate. Thank you. Pierre says, like Adam West in The Simpsons says, why doesn't Batman dance anymore? What, like Spider-Man dances in the what's he called again? I forget what he's called. The Tobey Maguire one. Spider-Man dancing down the street. Mark said he got to meet Adam West the year before he passed away. He got his autograph. Awesome, mate. Tony, I do this one in my head first, mate, to see what you're saying was. Tony says Gotham by. Wait for it. Mana. Do 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 do. Kirsten says Batman fighting Poison Ivy going, take that, you herbaceous hussy. You just don't get text like that anymore, do you? Lord Maiden says, yeah, I found them weird at first, but enjoyed them. The Return of the Joker was very good, dark but great. Love Mark Hamill is for me, he is the best Joker. Mark Hamill is just that he gets the character so well. Lord Maiden saying, yeah, and watch the Scooby film with Kissing It. I haven't seen the film, but I have seen that there is a one. Batman, no, I wrote it for Muppet Miniatures game. Marcus is saying the noir setting of Batman animated series is so good. It definitely is, mate, yeah. Formwood, good evening. Don't worry about being late, mate. Always awesome to have you. Tom saying, I'm working on Batverse stats for Pulp Alley. Do you know what, mate? I'd considered picking up the Batman miniatures rules and using the Batman miniatures that I already have for Gotham City Chronicles. But the way they've added in all these different cards and stuff now, and you can't buy cards for some factions and stuff, it's a bit of a mess, honestly. It's such a shame that they've got that. Vormwood says, happy birthday, thank you very much, mate. Ivy is a hero at this point, let's be honest. Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, Harley Quinn came out of the animated series as well. She wasn't a character anywhere else until the animated series come along. Kirsten saying Mark Hamill is incredible. Peter saying, what do you guys think of the Gotham show? I got bored of it by 2 seasons. I kind of got mixed thoughts, mate. I kind of got bored a bit as well, but I watched it when it was on TV. So I was watching it week after week, so I didn't really get burned out on it, and I was looking forward to it. And I liked the fact that it wasn't a straightforward Batman story. It was like a take on the universe. So I quite enjoyed that. And then I somehow seemed to drift away from it a little bit when Fish Mooney and everybody were escaping from Arkham. Not from Arkham, sorry, from what was he called again? The doctor guy with the glasses. I forget what his name is now. When they were all escaping from him anyway. Somebody will tell me in a second. It kind of got a bit stupid. I have since gone back and started Doctor Strange. That's it, yeah. I have since gone back and started to watch it again, and I'm actually getting back into it now. It's the kind of thing I put on. Hugo Strange, thank you, folks. It's the kind of thing that I put on in the background here on my screen here while I'm sitting painting, or while I'm sitting sort of doing a little bit of like graphic design work or something like that. Is background stuff. So I'm not paying close attention to it, but it's kind of on and I'm listening to it. But I do like the guy that plays Jim Gordon. I'm not overly keen on the young lad that plays Bruce. He's a little bit like, he always looks a bit bewildered by what's going on. I do like Sean Pertwee as Alfred. I think he plays a really good younger Alfred. And I think what isn't there a spin-off series called Pennyworth? I think. Scott said I played the version 1 of the Batman Miniatures game, but had a bad argument with Night Models. I think everybody's had a bad argument with Night Models at some point, mate. I think there's more people have had a bad argument than haven't, to be fair. Marcus is saying about the episode of Heart of Ice won a number of awards. It did, mate. Yeah, you're right. Just reading your comment there, Lord Maiden, as well about the Kiss thing. Mike G says there's some commercial with Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart in them, and Mark does the classic Joker. It's so good. Mark Hamill played a character, and I forget what they were called. Was it it wasn't the Riddler. He played a character in The Flash or Green Arrow, one of the two TV series, which was essentially the Joker, to be fair. Cesar Romero, isn't it? Yeah, tied for best Joker. Hugo Strange. His shot was a bit hit or miss. Yeah. Tasty Brain Trust. I only saw the early second season of Gotham, but I liked what I saw. People would tell me it went downhill towards the end of season 2. I feel like I pushed through that. I like the way Barbara Gordon was like an absolute head case. I think that was like a nice twist on it. I really like the kid that played like Catwoman as well. I thought she was really good. Sean's the best in Gotham. Yeah, Sean Pertwee is great. Yeah, he's a really underrated actor. He always plays a really good part. Like, he's great. Is it 28 Days Later he's in, or is it Dog Soldiers? I think I might be getting the two mixed up. But whichever one it is, he's awesome in that as well. Like, he plays like a soldier. Christian's in the DC animated movies. Assault on Arkham is fantastic, as is Batman vs. Robin. I've seen that since I've done some digging now for the animated stuff. I saw the Assault on Arkham. I'll have to watch that one. The Trickster, Kirsten, thank you very much. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. They might be doing a Batman series on the CW. They're all right, those CW shows. They're certain. I like the Arrow. Arrow got a little bit overdone. Flash was pretty good. I like the way they tied Flash in with the DC universe, like movies, by bringing in the different Barry Allens and stuff. I like the way they've done that. Dog Soldiers, yeah, great film. And it was the Trickster, Jason, yeah. Yeah, who are you on about? We're on about Sean Pertwee. Sean Pertwee is the guy who plays Alfred Pennyworth in Gotham. Plays the butler. Tom says, I like all the Jokers except the one in Red Hood. Hamill and Ledger are the best. Yeah, I agree, mate. Mark says the DC animated films are way better than live action movies. And Mike's in the last episode of the Justice League cartoon is all Batman Beyond based. Ooh, I might have to look out for that one, mate. Tony says, I want to see Sean Pertwee with a lead serialized role. He's fabulous, underrated, and I happily watch him as, dare I say, an aged John Constantine. I was a little bit disappointed in the Constantine TV series. Like, I think randomly, didn't they make him from Newcastle? But it's, yeah, I like the Keanu Reeves film, but it's not that close to the comic books. but it was good as a kind of as a film though. Yeah, Mark's saying I wish they hadn't cancelled it. Yeah. Kirsten saying, well, I loved it. I just found it wasn't close enough to the was it Trailblazer or Hellblazer? I think the comic books were. It's got I hope I give you the shits. Yeah, Tasty Brain Drains. I can't get over how much more Sean Pertwee looked like his dad. Yeah, for those that don't know, he was Wurzel Gummidge's dad. Christian saying it was great. I wasn't a huge fan of it, I'll be perfectly honest. I like the Constantine stories, but yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the TV series. It reminded me a lot of, those who haven't read them, the Dresden Files are an amazing set of books, and I would recommend them to anybody. The Dresden Files TV series is another one which had a lot of promise but never really kind of materialised on it. Kirsten says, I tell you to get out, but I suppose it's your stream. Thank you. Scott saying Lucifer is also great. I've not seen that one, mate. From which is Constantine picked up near the end of the season and they canned it. Sean was great in the Mutant Chronicles. I don't think I got all the way through to the end of the series, to be fair. Maybe that's why. And Christian saying, yeah, very far from the comics though. Yeah. Tony said, I was lucky to bump into John Pertwee in a bookshop in Edinburgh. The only time I've ever been starstruck. He was my Doctor Who as a kid. He was lovely. I was never really a Doctor Who fan. I've never really watched an episode of Doctor Who, if I'm perfectly honest. And I know I'm going to get slated for that now. But yeah, I remember John Pertwee definitely is Wurzel Gummidge more. Am I just giving up on painting here tonight? Is that probably the best for the best? How am I doing with wine? I've still got half a bottle left, to be fair. What says Lucifer is super fan. I've recently discovered Into the Badlands, and I'm watching that all the time now. I think I've watched 1 or 2 episodes of Into the Badlands, and it wasn't too bad at all, actually. Tony saying Dresden Files was a great show. I really enjoyed that. The only thing I was disappointed with, mate, was in the Dresden Files, the person that played, and I forget what he's called now, the Skull, his friend, the person that played that was nothing like in my head how I imagined it, I think. But to be fair, I think it does sound a lot like the person that did the voice acting in the Dresden Files audiobooks randomly. Lobin says, what do you think of Spawn? I heard the story through the Iced Earth album and like what I heard. Spawn the comics by Todd McFarlane are absolutely brilliant. They kind of come out of that like really edgy kind of 90s era of comic books. But I don't think the film really kind of lined up to the actual comics. Excuse me. Von Woodson, yeah. Dresden was super cheesy, but 90s goodness, just like Poltergeist: The Legacy. I never saw Poltergeist: The Legacy, but yeah, it was kind of cheesy, to be fair. Marcus says, I think the only reason they will never make a direct adaptation of Constantine is they don't want to make an R-rated TV show. Constantine should come back as a movie again, I think, at some point. And to be fair, the popularity of that kind of stuff now, it might well do. Like if you look at things like Deadpool, have shown that R-rated or 18-rated comic books can still do well. Scott saying, I wish you would bring back Firefly. Yeah, unfortunately, mate. I think that's the last we'll ever see of that, I think. Peter says, I got Spawn on DVD. Not too bad for a watch. Yeah, it's years since I've seen it, if I'm perfectly honest. Marcus saying, Preacher's a great TV show as well, which kind of matched the comics. Yeah, is it, what's he called again? Is it Dominic? I forget his surname, but the guy that plays Preacher. Yeah, he's good in that. Somebody was just talking about something else that I missed. Oh, that was it. Tony saying, I'm looking forward to the series of Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Yeah, I quite like Neil Gaiman stuff. Not Dominic coming, mate. It wasn't him. What's he called again? I can't remember his name. Tony said, new Constantine movies in the pipeline. I didn't realise that, mate. There you go. So is Keanu going to be in it? I did not. So it's going to be a sequel. I did not know that. There you go. I missed that one. What I have been doing, folks, so we've got Disney Plus now. I basically got it for the new series of Mandalorian, Mandalorian I'll get onto in a bit. I'm really enjoying Mandalorian. I've started watching the Marvel movies back through again, because on Disney Plus there is an option to watch them in the timeline order as opposed to the released order. So I've gone back and I've started watching Captain America, the first Avenger. Then I've just watched Captain Marvel. I forget what the next one is, but I've started watching them back through that way. Where are we up to? Tony said that's for name drop when I went to see God's God, a whole theatre with Paul Darrell playing Vimes. At half time, went to the bar, got around and stood chatting with this random stranger. Christian saying no spoilers. I won't be doing any spoilers, mate. None at all. I promise you. That's why I said I will come on back with. All I was going to say was, I felt in series 1 there was a couple of episodes that were a little bit like, they felt like padding a little bit. Where series 2 so far, I have not had a bad episode in series 2. I've really enjoyed it. ESDF says, have you watched The Boys on Amazon Prime? The Boys Series 1 I absolutely loved. The Boys Series 2 I've really struggled with it. I ended up just turning it off. It just felt like it would I think we've talked about this on a live stream before, but Carl Urban's Cockney accent really grates on me a little bit. But I've really struggled with season 2. I've not enjoyed it. I just turned it off. Tony says, when I got back, my mates and wife pointed out I've been cracking jokes with Terry Pratchett. Did the huge hat not give it away, mate? Jason's seen the HBO Spawn animated series captured. I don't think I did. I saw that animated series, mate. Kenneth Paulson says, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Kenneth. Appreciate that, mate. Scott says, this is the way. Martin says, his prized possession is a copy of Spider-Man issue 1 signed by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, which I randomly found in a box of comics that was going to be thrown out by a neighbour. Wow, mate. Well, there's your next 20 years of 40k armies paid for, eh? Margot says, the Boys miniatures game coming up on Kickstarter. Do you know what? I'm not sure that's a comic book or a TV series that would make a good game. Because actually, it's less to do with the fact that they're kind of superheroes. It's more like political. It's more like sort of big business, corporate America and stuff. Kenneth saying The Boys is great. I like I say, I've really struggled with season 2. I think it was like maybe like episode 2 I was watching, and I honestly thought I'm not really sure what the hell's going on anymore. It was jumping around all over the place. Maybe I need to go back and watch it, or maybe I was just not paying enough attention. But yeah, I struggled with season 2. Tasty Brendan says the Spawn animated series on Amazon Prime. There you go. I know what I'm watching now. Then thank you very much. ASDF says the first 3 episodes of season 2 are not very engaging. I think what happened was we watched the first episode. Me and my wife, because we watched the first season, loved it. We watched the first episode of season 2. It was like, it was all right. Like we'll give it some time. We watched episode 2, and it was like, what the hell's going on here? And I think we started watching episode 3, got about halfway through it, and it was like, I've got no idea what's going on. Let's just turn it off. So maybe we'll come back to it, but if it does pick up from there. But it was kind of weird. Kenneth saying Utopia on Amazon is a cool show. I have not seen that, mate. Tissy Brendan says, yeah, definitely does capture the feel of the comics more than the movie. Not that the movie was bad, yeah. Christian saying Lock and Key is another great show. Also really enjoyed The Order, both on Netflix. Yeah, we watched The Order, mate. I've not seen Lock and Key. I saw it. I've seen it in the list of things. To be honest, I'm kind of like struggling for stuff to watch at the moment. Yeah, I'm not really into any TV series at the minute. It's got, other than The Mandalorian, but it's kind of like, it's on every week type thing as opposed to binge watching it. Scott says he's excited that Ray doing a Spartacus game. Spartacus game? Is it like like miniatures game or video game, mate? ASDF says for the following episodes go above the quality of the first series. In that case, mate, I definitely need to go back and give it a second try, then maybe reevaluate it, because I really did enjoy the first series, but the first series didn't, like, it felt like a really it felt like a really good story. The second series felt like it was either building to something else, but there was a lot of kind of padding between episodes, and I couldn't really see where it was going. Scott's in the miniatures game. Okay, mate. Marcus is saying it might not be first edition, but it's still one of the few things. Yeah, don't blame you, mate. I used to have, before I realised these things were kind of worth anything, I had first edition of the Punisher comic, first. I think it was copy issue 1, 2, and 3. I think I had. Never. God knows what happens to them. John says the Floor is Lava on Netflix with your little one has a bit of the feel of the 90s. I've seen it advertised, like I've seen the title and stuff, mate, but I'll have to watch it with him in that case. Lord Maiden says, sorry, Taste Bridget says, have you watched Stranger Things? I've seen season 1. I've struggled with season 2, I'll be honest. I've tried watching it a second time, and I'm not getting the same feel that I did from the first one. I should probably go back and try it again, but I have tried twice now with it. To be fair, I struggled with Game of Thrones the first time I watched the first series, and I had to go back and watch that again, interestingly. Lobin say, wait a minute, isn't there already a Spartacus game based on the Gritty Sky? There's probably a board game or something, mate, is there? Tony says, you know what I'm like, my humour is pretty whimsical, and on the spur of the moment I was touched when an off-the-comic comment turned up in a Discord. Nice, mate. Marty said, I could not get into boys. Warhammer is all the grimdark I need. I like the fact that it was the anti-superhero thing at a time when Marvel was just everywhere. It felt like a really kind of, like, I know it's an old comic book, but it felt like a fresh take on it, like from a TV perspective. But the second series, just not so much. Marcus is saying his dad had Ghost Rider first 5 editions, but his uncle sold them for pocket change. I like the Ghost Rider movies. They're nothing like the comics either. But let's be honest, Nicolas Cage is an absolute head case. But I did see a documentary thing a little bit about the Ghost Rider things, and like Nicolas Cage is a huge fan of Ghost Rider, and it was him that was pushing to get these things made actually randomly. Robin said I saw the Space Marine film recently and had a laugh all the way through it. It seemed like the Space Marines were from Alien and just kept making mistakes. Really good voice actors in that awful animation. ASDS is the movie with Super with Rainn Wilson is also fantastic. Have I seen that? The name rings a bell. I feel like I have seen it. I'll tell you what I watched again recently that I hadn't seen in ages was Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2. Scott said he fancies the new Aliens game. The minis look canny, mate, but the gameplay doesn't grab me. I've watched a couple of playthroughs of it and it doesn't really grab me. Tasty Brain Drain says, fun fact, Nicolas Cage has a Ghost Rider tattoo. I didn't know that, mate, but I didn't know he was a huge fan. And to be fair, the Ghost Rider movies are, like, I mean, he's on a different planet, but the Ghost Rider movies are actually pretty good. Kenneth Paulson says, anyone who knows if the Wily games are any good, Fistful of Lead and so on. I'm not familiar with them, mate, so I'm probably not the best person to ask, but I'm sure that there will be people in the chat tonight who will certainly know more about them than I do. Marcus says in the 41st millennium there is only walking through deserts. It was like, what's the best way we can cut down the amount of animation we need? If we set it in a desert, we can make it really dusty and you won't be able to see anything. Right, that's what we'll do then. Thanks very much. I have a Steelbook, like, limited edition DVD version of that somewhere that came with like an art book and stuff. Oh, how disappointed I was. Oh, excuse me, let me just let's have a look and see if we've got any new subs tonight. See if our numbers are going up. No, it's still the same as when I checked last time. If anybody is in the chat, you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. I'm pushing through to 10,000 subscribers now. It will be awesome to hit it this year. So if you can help, please help. Anyway, I was torn between calling it a night there or having more wine. As you can see, which one I've chosen. Let's be honest. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to be painting anymore tonight. Let me wash my brush. Lord Maiden says, have more wine. As I was telling you my choices, I was already pouring the wine there, to be fair. Let me wash my brush out. In fact, let me turn this camera off, and I can move it out the way. And then it's not. Here's my camera, folks. This is the camera that I use for my painting streams. Let me put that down there out the way. Let me wash my brush out. Christian says Nicolas Cage in Mandy is basically an acid trip movie, absolute insanity. I've heard that, and I've seen I've seen the sort of like advertised on Netflix or whatever channel it's on, but I've not seen the movie yet. I'll tell you what I watched in bed last night. So obviously I'd been a little bit ill last couple of days or something. So I had a bit of an early night last night. I pretty much just kind of had a bit of a chill day. I lay in bed pretty much most of the day yesterday. Played on my Switch, to be fair. And then I kind of got up around tea time, was feeling a lot better, and decided to have an early night last night. So I went to bed about 8:30, I think it was. And I watched Saw the final chapter in bed last night. I love the Saw movies. And I forgot just how gory some of that one was. But yeah, it all came flooding back to me. As soon as I started watching it, it all came flooding back to me. And I love that series of movies. Lord Maiden says, have more wine, let's get silly. You don't want to see me get silly on a live stream. Scott says, fun fact, part of the Alien film was filmed in Stockton and Middlesbrough. I think it was filmed in Seaham as well, mate. Along on Seaham Beach. I'm pretty sure. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Alien 3. Alien 3 was filmed at Seaham. Because Ridley Scott, the director, is from the northeast, isn't he? And his brother Tony Scott, unsurprisingly. Scott says we need a birthday dance. That ain't happening, mate. I'll tell you that now. I've reserved. You had my Spider-Man dance. You had that one earlier on. We'll reserve the dancing for 10,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me get to 10,000, then we'll be dancing. Let me just, if I turn that off, well, that doesn't make any difference. That does it. I can move that light out of the way, and then I can get comfy, folks. I can just pull up my chair and just sit back and chill and eat my grapes and drink my wine, like some kind of medieval sort of King Henry. John says, was Alien filmed at Blast Beach near Peterlee as well? Definitely, I remember Alien 3 being filmed in the northeast. I wasn't so sure about the other ones, but if you tell me it was, it was. Marcus says, did anyone else see the Superman Live documentary? Oh, Superman Lives documentary? No, I've not seen that, mate. Tony says, we've seen Andy get silly with his dance moves. Love and says, you're sitting no fitter than the king. I'll tell you what, mate, it's early days. If I keep sitting here drinking wine, can you imagine if I just got like so drunk that I just kind of passed out and this stream was just there all night while I'm like just snoring away like an 18-hour stream while I just sleep off a hangover. Yeah, that wouldn't be so good, would it? Anyway, I'm this is why I picked these to paint tonight. I knew I wasn't going to get too far. Norman says I'd keep you on. Yeah, I think that would then break the record for the longest stream I've done. Me just drunk in the background asleep. Rob saying, yeah, birthday dance. No dancing from me, boys. Not tonight. Christian says, anyone's looking forward to the Snyder cut of Justice League? I am, mate. I like Zack Snyder. He doesn't always make great films, but he comes from a point of like real passion about the subject material, whether he gets it right or not. It comes from the right place. and I want to see what he would have done. Scott said, I know they used ICI in Middlesbrough. I think that's where the aliens come from, man. Marcus says, Nicolas Cage's Superman would have been completely weird. There's a load of these type of things. Like, what was the other one I saw the other day? I saw a documentary about Batman Begins, and they did a screen test with is it Cillian Murphy, the guy that plays the Scarecrow, the one that's in Peaky Blinders. They did a screen test because he was up to be Batman as well, to be Bruce Wayne, and he looked psychotic as Bruce Wayne. He wasn't bad as Batman, but he looked psychotic as Bruce Wayne. Hence, there's no surprise that he ended up being Dr. Crane instead as the Scarecrow. Nicolas Cage was in what do they call it? Kick-Ass. I was just talking about as well. And interestingly, he plays kind of like a Batman type character. And I like the way he kind of like punctuates he's talking, like in a bit of a way, like kind of. I'm trying to think. Like all, like almost just a little bit like kind of comic book cheesy. He's good. Tony's saying, oh, let me go back a second. Scott said, I'm back watching Alvida and Pet again. Absolute classic. I should go back and watch that. Happy memories of being a kid watching that. ASDF saying, Tony saying, I like the first bit of Alien 3. It was nice and broody, and Charles Dance can do no wrong. Charles Dance is a hell of an actor. I like Charles Dance plays the bad guy, doesn't he, in Last Action Hero as well. I like him in that. ASDF saying, fingers crossed for a Cage cameo in the Flash movie. What's folks thinking about the idea of what's it called? The guy who was the original Batman. Well, originally in the movie, Batman with Joker with Jack Nicholson. His name's gone from my head now. Somebody will tell me in a second. It'll come up. What's his name? I can picture. I know exactly who he is. He's in Birdman. Michael Keaton. Thank you, Christian Reeves. Michael Keaton reprising the role as Batman. I think in the Flash film. Is it in the Flash or is it in the? Like, there's talk of it as being like some kind of like weird, like crossover thing, isn't it? About the different multiverses and stuff. That would be interesting if they can get some of the old Batman actors back for that one. Morgan says, I would watch that and continuously leave the weirdest comments I could think of. Maybe one day, mate. We'll see how it goes. Scott saying, who's watched The Last Kingdom? I've not seen that, mate. Kick-Ass was crazy, yeah. I forgot how good it was, actually. I really enjoyed it. Peterson with Carey, that was a set on the right. Tony says, Charles Dance is the old Dark Knight washed up alcoholic Batman. I'm trying to think who would play a good old Batman now. I'm not really sure. Like I mean, Michael Keaton obviously could, but I'm not sure who'd play like a really good like kind of Batman Returns type, a Dark Knight Returns type thing. Yeah, Keaton was awesome. He was. Yeah, everyone's screaming Keaton at me now. Yeah. Robert says, well, have to mask up and go to the store. Take care and stay safe. See you, Rob. Thank you very much for the donation tonight as well. And take care, mate. I hope you and Mrs. are well. Stu saying, not George Clooney, please. I quite like George Clooney, but not as Batman. ASDF saying that the rumoured cast list is pretty bonkers. It is, mate, isn't it? Yeah. Peter Cooman says George Clooney stiff-nippled Batman. We also got Robin at that point as well. I watch a lot of like Batman stuff on YouTube and stuff, and there's a really good documentary which is about the original Batman film with Michael Keaton in, and about what's he called again? The director did Nightmare Before Christmas. Married to somebody will tell me. Anyway, the director, Tim Burton. That's it. I knew it couldn't be. There you go. Love Maiden Tim Burton. Tim Burton had like all of the plans for the next Batman film, with Robin in it and all sorts of stuff, and it sounded awesome. But for whatever reason, they never got to that point, and they never ended up making it. But there was a really good kind of plan for what was coming next. Daniel Engel, hello mate, how are you doing? Says happy birthday, brother. Thank you very much, mate. Just if you've come in for the painting, mate, I apologise. We were painting, and then I got sidetracked. I got a big bottle of wine. I've been eating my cheese, my Wensleydale and cranberry cheese, and I'm just kind of hanging out. And we're chatting about Batman at the minute, mate, and TV and movies and comic books and all manner of geek things. Right, where were we up to? Tasty Brain Drain says supposedly people are pushing to have Michael Keaton play Bruce Wayne in a live-action Batman Beyond movie. Yeah, I saw that, mate. I'm sure if the money was there, he'll do it. I saw a few things actually where, like Michael Keaton agreed to do the sequel to Batman, so Batman Returns, isn't it? I think it is. He agreed to do that purely for the salary. He wasn't bothered at all about the film. But he's a big investor in property, and he's got like he makes millions from his property investments. And there was an investment he wanted to make, which just so happened that how much they were willing to pay him for the next Batman movie would cover it. So he decided to do it, but he kind of wasn't interested at the time. Lord Bain said, I watched Michael Keaton reprise the role, but would rather see Adam West as old Bruce Wayne. Blizzard said, I thought Keaton was great. I remember back in the day hearing he was going to be Batman and just seeing him miss the mom and wondering how that would work. Michael Keaton is another massively underrated actor. In Beetlejuice, he absolutely carries that entire film. That film without Michael Keaton doesn't work. He is amazing in Beetlejuice. Scott saying Sly Stallone. I don't think I could take Stallone serious enough as an old Bruce Wayne. Not after seeing him in like in Judge Dredd and like Expendables and stuff. I watched the newest Rambo film not that long ago, and actually he was pretty good in that. But he almost just looks fake now. That's the problem. Peter saying, yeah, Jim Carrey was in Kick-Ass 2. He was. Yeah, he was in Kick-Ass 2, mate. Lord Maiden saying, I think it was also the Bat credit card. Yes, it was. Everybody's screaming Tim Burton at me. Thank you. Matt Mailing, hello, Matt. How are you doing? He said, Adam West is Batman Eternal. Bale is the only other Batman I ever liked. Christian Bale. Do you know, if I'm honest, Christian Bale was probably the best Bruce Wayne, I think. He had the right mix of arrogance. Basically, like the arrogance was there to cover up basically for like what he really was. And I quite liked him in Batman. Which one was it? The one with, I think it's the one with Catwoman in, where he's got his walking stiff and he's a little bit like sort of like beaten up at the start of the movie. He plays a really good Bruce Wayne actually. Liam Neeson would be a good old Batman. Oh, there's a good shout. I could see that one. Yeah. I could get that. Tony says the producers kicked Burton for being too dark and scary. The joys of clueless money people. At the end of the day, though, the first one was a huge. I remember, like this is like some of you will probably be too young to remember this kind of stuff. So I'm going to give you a trip down memory lane now. Let me just boost my seat a little bit so I'm not kind of sliding off under the camera. I remember being a kid going to the cinema to see Batman, the original Batman film, and like the hype around it was astronomical. Like you can't believe now, like movies don't generate, even like Star Wars and stuff now. Oh, certainly when Star Wars come back, like Star Wars and Marvel films do not generate the kind of hype that Batman had back in the day. Was it like 89? I think it was. Like, and it was before the days of the internet. It was before the days of like you couldn't pre-book tickets to go to the cinema. Like certainly not at my cinema anyway. Like the cinema was basically, it was 2 screens, and Batman was on one. I can't remember what was on the other one. And essentially what you used to have to do was you would go to like the 8 o'clock showing or whatever it was, and just queue up to get into the cinema. And the queues for to see Batman were just like way down, like more like the biggest queues I have ever seen in my life. And there was people obviously had been waiting for hours, not knowing whether they were going to get in to see that showing or not. And we were so lucky. Like my best friend at the time, his brother and sister both worked at the cinema. One was basically on the ticket booth, and the other one worked on the concession stand with the sweets and drinks and stuff. And they basically got us in before the cinema opened, so we got straight in to go and see Batman on the opening night. But I to this day I have never seen hype for a film, I think, as much as that. Like, even if I think about Star Wars coming back over the years, or like Infinity War, I think it's different these days, because you just like you book your tickets online, like, and it's like there isn't that kind of like hype for it in the same way. Back then, when you couldn't pre-book tickets, it was just unbelievable. Tasty Brain says, hell, he'd be good as an old inedible ham sandwich. Law Maiden says, not as Batman, Stallone would be too brutal and shout, I am the law. Christian says, Stallone would never make Batman. He wouldn't accept his face being covered for the majority of the film. Yeah, see, as long as he could just be Bruce Wayne for the whole film, he'd be all right. Yeah, Dark Knight Rises, that's the one. Tom Hardy would be a good Batman. Well, I'm not so sure. Marcus says, okay, this may be asking for trouble, but I did not like any of the new Batman Christopher Nolan films. I'm not going to give you any trouble, mate. And I would say that the last one with Bane in it, like Dark Knight Rises, is the weakest of the 3. Batman Begins is an awesome origin story, though. It really, like, with him training with Ra's al Ghul and stuff, it's an awesome origin story. I would have liked to have seen those stories carry on. I mean, this is not exactly. Love Maiden says, I was not expecting the Stallone voice. You'll not get it another night, mate. You only get it after half a bottle of wine. What was I just going to say there? What we're talking about? Oh, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, Batman. Like in the comic books, like Talia al Ghul, who's in Dark Knight Rises, her and Batman get together and have a child, who's Damian Wayne, who comes over is eventually like is Robin and takes over as Batman and all that kind of stuff. I would love to have seen the movies carry on down that line. Tony says Michael Keaton is phenomenal. He can do quirky, dark, bonkers, nice, or bad guy. He's really underrated. Is it Michael Keaton that was in? Oh, what was the film called? Oh, where he's a bit of a kind of like a crazy neighbour. I forget what it's called now, but he was awesome in that as well. Scott's saying Jack Nicholson was my favourite Joker. Jack Nicholson was awesome. Josh Brolin. Now there is a shout. Thank you, Daniel Engel. Josh Brolin would make an awesome old Bruce Wayne. Tasty Brain Drain saying, yeah, original Batman was 89. My God, that is going back now, isn't it? Where are we now, 2020? Is it really that old now? Nearly 31 years ago. Wow, yeah. So wow, I'm 45 today. So 31 years ago, 14. It's probably about right, yeah. Christian thinks Heath Ledger was better. I think Heath Ledger did a more realistic Joker, but I think Jack Nicholson was kind of his normal madness. I think just made him ready for that one. Mark says, I remember when the first Lord of the Rings films came out and the line wrapped around the 20-scene theatre. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, so maybe that passed me by a little bit, but I can imagine it was probably similar, although like the age of the internet was already upon us by that point as well. Pomsy saying, party man, rock a party like no one can. Prince's music in that film, mate, was unbelievable. And that scene where they're all kind of where they're all wandering around and slapping the paint on the pictures and stuff. That is an awesome scene. Matt says, hope you're having a happy birthday, brother. We're all on the edge of our seats waiting on Thanksgiving here in North America, I assume that is. Yeah, Thanksgiving. I always kind of like, obviously we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK, for obvious reasons. So I always kind of forget about Thanksgiving. Is Thanksgiving for you in the North America? Is Thanksgiving like sort of bigger than Christmas? Do you guys celebrate that in a much bigger way? And is Christmas almost like a second, almost like not an afterthought? It's a Christian holiday, but do you know what I mean? Is it more of a is it not the same celebration? Is Thanksgiving much more of the big getting families together type thing? Because I remember being in the States for Christmas, and like everywhere was kind of open. It didn't feel like Christmas here where everywhere kind of closes. Scott saying Heath Ledger I think went too dark. I think it was meant to be dark. Yeah. Yoakum says, been a great evening. Good night, folks. Thank you very much, Yoakum, and thank you again for your donation tonight as well. Tony says, isn't Keaton doing Batman Beyond? So the rumours are, mate. Yeah. Tony says, I was lucky my mate's mum and dad took me to London to watch Batman. We accidentally crashed the Queen procession to get to the cinema, so we had a police escort to this. Nice one, mate. Pacific Heights, that's what it is. Thank you, Daniel Engel and Matt. That's exactly it. Kirsten saying, I was 5. Thank you, Kirsten. You've really made me feel really young on my birthday and on your birthday today. Yes, I think I was like 13, 14, something like that. It came out in the summer, so I was probably about 13 or 14. If I remember right, it was the first ever 12 rated movie. There you go. Like it was such a big deal. You know how like in bus stops they used to, I don't know if they still do, to be fair, but they used to put movie posters up in bus stops, in like bus shelters. They were always getting stolen. The Batman movie posters were always getting stolen from bus shelters. Matt says Pacific Heights is a neighborhood here in San Francisco. Yeah, Pacific Heights is an awesome film. Pomsey's saying, for me it's Jack. Heath is good though. I think other than what's he called? Who played Joker in Suicide Squad? His name's on the tip of my tongue. He's the singer man, isn't he? What the hell's he called? You all know who I mean. He technically has been the only bad Joker, I would say, to be fair. Jared Leto, thank you very much, folks. Yeah, I think he's technically been the only bad Joker. Scott saying Johnny Depp would make a good Joker. I think Johnny Depp would make a better Riddler, if I'm honest. Marcus is saying no, Thanksgiving is not as big as Christmas. Interesting. It was just kind of as an outsider looking in, it always felt like Americans talk about getting together for Thanksgiving, but it felt like Christmas was less of a like. I mean, it's still a big family deal, but I don't know. It felt like Thanksgiving was more important, or more. Yeah, Matt's saying it's a better feast. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just it's the food side of things. Like it's everyone getting together to celebrate Thanksgiving. Kirsten said, I liked the comment that each version of the Joker was a different drug. LSD in the 60s, cocaine for Nicholson, heroin for Ledger, and meth for... Do you know what? That kind of puts a completely different spin on it, doesn't it? I quite like that. I don't think I've heard that before. Marcus said, I was two years old when the first Batman film came out. Peter said he was 4. Christian said he was 6. Do you know what? Right, I'm piss off a lot of years. I was like 14 or something. Well, you all missed out, right? It was awesome. You should have been there. Tasty Brain Dinners, I would say Christmas is bigger. A lot of people have Christmas dinners and get-togethers, but we usually eat more at Thanksgiving. There you go then. Lord Ben says he's still doing some bus shelters now, but not too many and not too foodie. Yeah, they don't. They definitely don't get. They don't get stolen these days. Nobody steals a film poster for their wall anymore. Mike says, I really got a kick out of Keaton playing the Vulture in Spider-Man. I don't think I've seen that Spider-Man film yet. I don't think I've seen that one. Is that one... Or have I seen it? Yes, I have seen it, sorry. The one I haven't seen is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal in. I haven't seen the latest Spider-Man film. Scott says, we need a Batman movie with a scarecrow in it. Yeah, to be honest... It was a real shame that they didn't do more with the Scarecrow character, because he is awesome in the Arkham games, and I would have loved to have seen them do more, especially in the Nolan verse. Jeff says, less pressure and more food. Give me my gobble dear. Nice, mate. Tizzy Brinton says, actually I could see Johnny Depp as a Scarecrow. I think it would really project a creepy, scary intensity. Tell him, Grandpa. when I was a kid, all of these were fields. Scott says the Joker movie was good as well. Yeah, Joker was a good film. I enjoyed that. Tony said I might remember but I'll let you know when I grow up. Peter Cooman says, get off my lawn, you rascals. Blizz said he was 19. There you go, Blizz. Pulling it back for us old dudes. Thank you very much. Marcus says, I'm still old enough to tell kids to get off my lawn. Tony Boo said, I'd like to see Mads Mikkelsen as the Scarecrow. What did I see recently where Mads Mikkelsen took over a role? It was somebody got basically booted off a film and Mads Mikkelsen took over it. Oh, what was it? It wasn't a Batman film. Forget what it was now. It'll come back to me. That's what it was. Depp in Fantastic Beasts. Thank you, Kirsten. Yes, that's what it was. That's who's taken over Johnny Depp's part. Palmsy saying, I think I was 9 when Keaton Batman came out. The scene with Nicholson in the chair after getting the facial surgery used to give me the creeps. Yeah, when he's got that the mirror and he's like smashes the mirror and he's got like the bandages on his hands and it is proper creepy, mate. You're right. Christian saying Mads Mikkelsen as Ra's al Ghul will be interesting. Yeah, to be honest, the Ra's al Ghul character is really interesting, and I'm not sure that Liam Neeson really kind of fulfilled it for me, I would say. Lord Baden says, at least you can act your age. I can bounce between 4 years old and 66 and not 31 at all. Yeah, I think I bounce between those two ages as well, mate, to be fair. Matt says, the original Batman movie was released in 1966. Batman, the movie, Adam West is Batman Eternal. Tony says, Mads was fabulous in Hannibal. Yeah, he's got that kind of creepy face, hasn't he? Scott says, Nicholson's laugh was amazing. So again, I've been watching these documentaries and stuff, and I think it was... I've almost forgot the story I was going to tell then. It was something... They basically... They've filmed the Batman film with Jack Nicholson around... Jack Nicholson's a Lakers fan, isn't he? He's an LA Lakers fan, the basketball. And they basically filmed it around the games because Jack Nicholson said, look, when there's a game on, I ain't filming, so you'll basically have to just stop filming while I go to the game. Like, and essentially, basically, just everything operated on Jack Nicholson time. Lord Maiden says, "Be right back, don't go anywhere, no worries, man." Marcus is saying Mark Hamill's laugh is still the best. Scott says, Antoine got a little hot under the collar. Awesome. Yeah, courtside tickets for Jack, isn't it? What was the other thing I'd seen as well? I'll tell you what the other one. So, another story I'd heard about Jack Nicholson was he'd taken Adam Sandler to the Lakers game. I think they might have been filming, was it Anger Management they were in together? They must have been filming that. So Jack Nicholson had taken Adam Sandler, and about halfway through the game, basically, or like sort of like 2/3 of the way through the game, Jack Nicholson had said to Adam Sandler, right, we're leaving. There's no coming back from this kind of thing. We're leaving now. And like Adam Sandler was saying to him, like, like we can't just get up and leave. Like everyone's going to see us leave, and like you don't leave before the end. And he went, look, we're going, kind of thing. And I think they basically just got up and walked off, and there was this whole big deal about how Adam Sandler had left before the end, and nobody mentioned it was Jack Nicholson. Alan Stewart, hello Alan Stewart. He said, Adam Keaton Batman was 89. Remember it well, it was the first ever 12 rated film, and I was 11 and thought I was committing a massive crime going to see it in the cinema. I went to see Terminator 2 when I was 14, and it was a 15, and I remember having that exact same kind of like, God, I hope they don't ask for ID, I'm only 14 kind of thing. I remember that same feeling. Peter Coon says, something funny, only old episode of Batman I ever saw where they're tied to a buoy, or if you're American, a buoy, with a torpedo racing toward them. Screen cut, and there was Batman stands there, and Robin says something like, gee whiz Batman, how noble of that dolphin to save us by jumping in front of the torpedo. That's a bit like the Fonz with the jumping the shark episode, isn't it? Yep, anger management. Marcus says, I love the story. Mark Hamill was warming up for a recording session, got stuck in traffic, and started laughing and scared the hell out of the people in the car next to him. I can imagine that was probably like the creepiest thing ever, sitting next to him for having that. Oh, well, folks, time is getting on. How am I doing? I'm probably not going to finish this bottle of wine tonight, that's for sure. We might just pop a cork in it. But I tell you what, it has been an awesome birthday, folks. Thank you, every single one of you. I'm not leaving yet, mind it, by the way. I'm just kind of just saying thank you. Thank you, every single one of you who's come in tonight. Anybody that's watching this back on the replay, it's been a really, really kind of like, it's been a really cool night. Thank you to everybody that's donated tonight as well. It's never like, it's never expected, it's anything like that. But everybody's kind of gone above and beyond tonight, and I just... Peter said it's official. The downvoter is here. Hey. Hello, if you're in the chat, good evening, downvoter. Thank you very much for coming in. But yeah, thank you. Like, lockdown's been awful. I've struggled with it. I'm just, like, obviously we're not through it yet, and I'm having a bit of a personal tough time with it, purely just for my own kind of mental sanity, really. And having this tonight for my birthday has been awesome. So thank you very much, all of you. Jeff says, chug it. Do you know how much this bottle of wine was, mate? I ain't chugging it. Palmsy says, Keaton Batman's got 69% on Metacritic. Ridiculous. It is an amazing film. It definitely is. Tony says, Barry White moment, anyone? When he starts saying, let's get it on. Yeah, glad we could be here for it. Thank you, Christian. It's nice that I consider you all friends. It's nice to have my friends here. Lobin says, I'm back, and I agree this one has been tougher. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's no real signs of it getting any better. And I'm not trying to bring a downer on the stream and stuff at the end and that, but like, I think it's going to get tougher yet, to be fair. And that's why, like, things like this is like, it's awesome to have to bring people together, take people's mind off it for a little bit. Like, I know this is a miniatures games channel and stuff, but these Wednesday night hobby hangouts are just about kind of mates getting together, hanging out, chatting about the kind of crap that you would talk to with your mates down the gaming club or in the pub, or kind of just hanging out. That's what these chats are about. They never do the views of other videos, like they never will, and I don't expect them to. But this is about us hanging out. That's exactly what these are for. Robin says, yeah, glad to be here, enjoying with mates, and it helps. Mark says, yeah, they just issued a curfew and lockdown in my city again. Whereabouts are you again, Marcus? I forget now. I always forget. Like, I'm getting to a point where I'm remembering names now, but I still haven't got off the top of my head where everybody is versus who they are yet. El Paso, Texas. That's it, mate. I'll remember now. I'll remember that. Yeah, it's happening more and more, unfortunately, mate, isn't it? Jesse, and this makes the world feel a little better place. Thank you for providing it. To be honest, mate, I just sit here and ramble. Like, it's you lot coming here, and like, if there was 3 of us in this chat, it would still be fun. You know what I mean? It's just it's the fact that you lot come out and kind of just turn up every week and have a good old natter. I couldn't do it without you. Peter says, really hope the streams don't suffer too much when it's all past. I've got no intention, mate, of changing anything I do. Like, in terms of like, I'm not, once the streams, once like things unlock and we start to get back to normal, like I've done Monday night streams for like 3 years now. The Wednesday night streams came in more because I wasn't away with work, and because I was in the middle of changing jobs and obviously the lockdown stuff. But yeah, I've got no intention of changing them. This is like it's just a nice kind of place just to come and hang out in the middle of the week. Scott says, I wouldn't miss this celebration. I'm glad to be part of this community, and you're a great guy, Andy. Thank you, Scott. What you don't know is I'm an awful person in real life. This is all just a face I put on for. Tasty Brain Drain says, and they just took a step back here in Louisiana, going from stage 3 back to stage 2. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Jeff says, Rambling Rocks. Solo Wargaming Show, hello. He says, happy birthday, BlackJack. Thank you very much. Lord Maiden says, I think the only thing that would change is I go back to gaming at my local club, but would hopefully make the end every time. Yeah, I mean, maybe when the time comes, when the time comes and people are starting to get back to gaming and life unlocks a little bit and we start to get back to normal, maybe we look at a different night, like maybe we change it that way kind of thing. But yeah, I'll continue doing them. If anything, I'll probably end up doing more in the future. I had considered, there's a few people have talked to me and said, like, would you not consider like being on Twitch or something like that? And I had considered keeping, like, maybe having live streams on Twitch and having videos on YouTube, so it doesn't like screw up the whole like algorithm type stuff. But you know what it is, as I've always said, I'm not really in this to get like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I'm kind of here to build a bit of a community, and I think it's better served being in one place. I don't know how you lot feel about it. I just find it like it's better to have it in one place. You know, Monday there's always a live stream, Wednesday there's always a live stream. You know, you can join the Patreon and kind of come and hang out in the Discord. You know where the Facebook group is if you want to do it. You know how to get a hold of me on Twitter or on Instagram, or any of that kind of stuff. I'd rather just try and have it like centered around one place. And yes, I'll probably sacrifice some subscribers and I'll sacrifice some views and all that kind of stuff. But as long as financially I can kind of make this all work, and you lot, your generosity is unbelievable. As long as I can keep making it work, I'd rather just keep it in one place. Like, if I get to the point where I've got 200 Patreons and I only ever get 200 viewers, like then I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. As long as it all works, that kind of stuff. What was this one? Peter Coons says, I meant numbers attending, really. Yeah, nice group right now. Yeah, to be honest, mate, I mean, the numbers on a Wednesday are always a bit lower because it is just like there's not really a topic to talk about. And but it's been pretty steady tonight. Like I'm just looking at the thing now. Within the first 5 or 10 minutes, we were up to like 45 people. I think it peaked out at about 63 just before 10 o'clock. And then I think when I started like rambling and stuff like that over an hour ago, it dropped to about 48, and it's been between 48 and 45 pretty much all night. We kind of have like a regular group that kind of gets in here, and that's just cool. Scott says, I knew you from work. I know you did, mate. That's why I was taking the piss, mate. Thank you, though. Alan says, I just discovered your channel recently. Love the content and chill community. First time I've made it for a live stream, and it's been really great crack. Thank you, Alan. I mean, we do tend to talk about miniature games more often than not. But every now and again on the Wednesday, like, especially at the minute, as I mentioned on Monday, especially at the minute when there's not a lot happening in the miniature gaming world. Companies are tightening their belts. They're kind of got one eye on the future. They know people are not playing games. They're not getting together to play stuff. So they're a bit wary about releasing like sort of stuff that needs people to get together to play. So like content becomes a bit harder to kind of to make and stuff. But having you lot coming in here and like just randomly chatting about Batman all night and all that kind of stuff, it's cool. We were chatting about sausage bacon sandwiches, I think it was last week. Scott says, your face when I spoke to you and mentioned the channel. Do you know what it is, mate? I never really did tell anybody at work. Even when I left, I never told them like what I was doing, like when I left work. And I'm sure the vast majority of people still don't know. It was just no, but I don't think anybody in that situation had ever like actually mentioned it like sort of to me before, and it was kind of weird. It was like I don't really know how to react to that. Bit different these days, mate. Now, Palmsy said, "I've dealt with Andy in real life and can confirm he's an awful person." Thanks, Palmsy. Tony says, "This is Nobulus from Delta 13. We have visited to observe your collective and have taken notes. Our vast technology with ballpoints and notepads will not be baffling." You be on the wine as well, mate. Peter says, "Pros on being awesome. He does great stuff. Cons, he did literally tell me to shut up." Yeah. You can't say I'm not honest, mate. I tell it like it is. Scott says, "All the live streams are great and so is the Facebook group and the private Discord." Yes, mate. Connor says, "Happy birthday." Hello, Connor. Said, "Sorry I haven't been able to catch most of the stream. Hope it's been a good one." It's been good fun, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Lord Maiden says, "I think it's the classic British humour. I honestly think Andy is what you see is what you get." Yeah. When I tell people to piss off, it is not meant with any kind of malice. There's definitely a sarcastic edge to it, I would say. Camo says, "Hello from Oz." Hello, Camo. Marcus says, "No, I don't know what the no was for." What do we do? Scott saying, "We are the loyalists." Oh, bacon. That's what it was. It wasn't sausage, it was bacon. Lord Maiden says, "But then you know what they say, never meet your heroes. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. He could be Batman." Tony said, "Geordie Batman, that would be a hell of an origin story." If Batman was a Geordie, his parents definitely would have died in the big market, and they probably would have been suffocated with a kebab. That's how Geordie Batman would have had his origin story. On the way back from watching the pantomime at the Tyne Theatre, they came out of the back way down High Bridge Street, and his parents were killed when they were smothered with a kebab. That's definitely how he came about. Mr. Goodman, hello, Mr. Goodman. He said, "Happy B-Day, Sagittarius boy." Yes, I don't really know much about the star signs. I don't know what Sagittarius makes me, but I am Sagittarius. Busey said, "What we're on? Brown sauce for sausage sandwich or red?" Red every time, mate. Red every time. Brown for bacon, red for sausage. Lord Baden says, "But yes, bacon." That was a good discussion in the Patreon Discord. Peter says, "Yeah, the humour is on par with what we have in the artwork in the factory. Love it." Yeah, I mean, it's never meant to be kind of, it's never meant to be offensive. I would never intentionally kind of sort of call somebody out or anything like that. Whatever I ever say is, it's always a bit of jokey. Mr. Goodman says, "Your birthday twin is also John F. Kennedy." I did not know that. There you go. Awesome. So, Camo, you're down in Oz. Whereabouts in Oz are you? And good morning to you, by the way. And Mr. Goodman as well. The name rings a bell, but maybe I'm mixing you up with somebody else. Where are you from, Mr. Goodman? I'm assuming with the twin being John F. Kennedy Jr., I assume you're overseas. So if you are, happy Thanksgiving to you. Marcus saying, "Oh, I forgot that. What did you forget, mate?" Ah, yes. David Watkins says, "Love the origin story. Could the bodies be dumped off the quayside though? No coats to weigh them down." They would never have wore coats, mate. To be fair, would they? They'd have been smothered with a kebab, covered in garlic sauce. It wouldn't have been pearls that would have like dropped and hit the ground. It probably would have been like, let's think, what would it have been? It would probably have been one of those what they called, those like charm bracelet things that everybody seemed to go nuts for a while. They have the shops. I forget what they're called now. It'll have been one of them charm bracelets anyway. Yes, and then they would have been dumped off the quayside, and they would have floated because their coats didn't wear them down. Scott said it's been great crack tonight. Camo said he's in Queensland, 100 kilometres from Brisbane. Well, nice to see you, mate. I'm going to do an awful Australian accent here, so I apologise if I offend anybody in advance. But the company I used to work for, Scott works for the same company. Cheesy chips instead of pearls. Dropped the cheesy chips. The company I used to work for, I used to basically run the product development department. And I used to have meetings with everybody else around the world where we would all get together and discuss projects that we were working on and different bits and pieces. So the guy from our Australian team kind of came over to this meeting. We were meeting in Italy, I think. I think we were meeting in Lucca. So we were all kind of introducing ourselves. We had to get up and do a little bit of a presentation, explain who we were and stuff. And this guy from Australia got up and he basically had this. He put up on the screen a map of Australia. And I apologise for this accent now, but it works better with an accent. And he went, I'm from here. You don't want to go here. The sharks. Down here, sharks. You come around here, the sharks. You come up here, there's no sharks around here. You're all right, kind of thing. And that was it. Basically, his explanation of around the Australian map was the sharks, except for this bit or something. And that's my memory of. I think he potentially might be the only Australian I think I've met face to face. Marcus is saying, offend everyone. I'm not offending anyone except Australians with that accent. That was awful, especially after a few wines. Marcus says, I share a birthday with Ronald Reagan and Babe Ruth. That's a bit more. That's a classy one, mate. Scott says cheesy chips instead of pearls. Charm bracelets and sovereign rings. I can just see them bouncing off the cobblestones in High Bridge Street in slow motion now. Tony Howell says red sauce on sausages, ye gods and little fishes, you can corrective surgery from Hugo Strange. One day, mate, I'm going to bring you a sausage butty covered in red sauce. Dave said, don't forget the scraps on the cheesy chips. Cheesy chips is not really like a Newcastle thing though, is it? I don't think. Maybe it is. I'm not a big fan of cheesy chips, so maybe it's not. Lobian says, makes me think that the Cornish Batman's parents would drop Cornish pasties. Different Gear says, if it's brown, I'm not even going to read that one, mate. Pandora charm bracelets, that's what I was trying to think of, mate. Tasty Brain Drain says, Marcus cool, I share mine with Jonathan Winters, Kurt Voingard, Demi Moore, John Baptiste and Leonardo DiCaprio. In fact, Leo and I were both born in the same year. There you go, mate. That's a nice lineup. Curry battered bun. Oh, curry battered buns. I have not had a curry battered bun in forever. Oh, it's all coming back now, mate. Curry battered buns. Kirsten says, I clearly win, sharing one with Andy. I win, Kirsten, sharing one with you. There you go. I think you're a lot more important to these lots than I am. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be getting their ships. Oh, curry battered bun. I remember having that for my school lunch. Oh, man. Oh, man. Curry battered buns. I don't know if anybody listens to Sporadically Bored podcast. So Dan, who is he's one of our Patreons, he's a friend of mine, and he does an awesome podcast called Sporadically Bored, and he co-hosts it with an American guy called Mike Delisio. And quite a lot, I will get to what a curry battered bun is in a second. A lot of what they talk about is the differences between American and English culture, and sort of what different foods are called, like the same food are called different things, like over in the States versus here and stuff. And on their latest podcast, they were talking about iced fingers. And I'm assuming that folks over in the States won't know necessarily what an iced finger is. But it's essentially like, it looks like a hot dog bun with icing on the top. And that's what that chap was just kind of like remind me of there. A curry battered bun, Tony Booth-Leiden, is a bun like a kind of like a hamburger bun with batter from the fish and chip shop. So just with batter in the bread. For those who don't call it batter, like scraps, or basically like or I think some people call it like scrapings as well, which is basically just like if you're frying fish, it's the bits of batter that drop off and just get fried. So it's got butter inside the bun and then curry sauce, and for whatever reason, It's like a local delicacy. I absolutely love them. I haven't had them in for ages. John Estel saying, what's a curry battered bun and where can I get one? I tell you what, John, it will set your world alight. Peter Kim says, it's all coming back now. Yeah, that's how curry works, you know. Marcus says, man, now I want a basket loaded of curly fries. Oh, curly fries as well, mate. Scott says he's not ordered his ships yet, but you know who's making them for you now. Scott said his wife will make you one. She works in a chippy. In that case, mate, I'm coming for a curry battered bun. Lord Maiden shares his birthday with Brittany, bitch. David Watkins said, yes, sporadically bored is great. It's where I found your streams from. That's right, David. I'm a big fan of Dan and Mike. They do some. It's my kind of humor. You can probably guess from the kind of the rambles we get into in these parts of the Wednesday streams. I love what they do because it's exactly the kind of random conversations I have as well. Marcus says curly fries with cheese, bacon, and onions. There's an obsession with Americans of putting bacon on everything, and I don't get that. What is that? Christian said it's really difficult. You're talking about awesome food when I dropped carbs. Christian, there's nothing on you, mate. You do not need to be dropping carbs, my friend. Palmsy says, my God, that sounds like heaven. I tell you what, mate, if you ever get over to the UK, Palmsy, right, I will take you to Scott's Mrs.'s chip shop and get you a curry battered bun, mate. Tony Boo says, oh my God, I'm in crunchy curry. There is just some, do you know what it is? I completely forgot about them. It's been so long since I've had one. But yeah, curry battered buns, man. Oh. Peter says he shares his birthday with Donald Sutherland and David Hasselhoff. Oh, you might have won tonight, mate. You might have won. Kenneth is saying, all this food talk making me hungry. I want some bacon. This is where I got to last week. I came off the live stream absolutely starving. Tony said, please tell me it's Chinese curry sauce though. Do you know what? It kind of is. It's like chip shop curry sauce, which is kind of similar to Chinese curry sauce. It's not like Indian curry. It's not like it's that kind of like yellowy browny, like cheap curry, if you like. You know, if you get like curry sauce over chips in a chippy, it's that kind of curry. Tony saying to Kirsten and to me, might sound a bit daft, but you two have become important people in my life. Tony, you are a legend, mate. I know we were talking about kind of like me popping down to see you at some point, like long before the lockdown stuff started. I'm definitely coming down to Mighty Lancer Games at some point, mate, and buy you a coffee, mate, and we'll sit and have a good old natter one day. Marcus is saying, what is there to get bacon is awesome. In America we have a lot of bacon, so we put on everything. Maybe that's why we have a lot of kebab stuff. Maybe that's why we put, I assume everybody has kebab specials, don't they? I assume you all have kebab specials, and that's not just a big kebab, by the way. Love. Peter says apparently with Angela Merkel too. I tell you what, mate, that's a birthday and a half. That, mate, I wouldn't want to come to your party if that's Tuesday going to be there. Lord Maiden saying, how about a BlackJack event to the chippy? Oh, I'm in for that, mate. I'm in for that. Palmsy saying bacon double fried, cheese fried buffalo barbecue wings. There's a pub, mate, in Newcastle called Shark Club that has a buffalo wings night where it's like buffalo wings for 50p each, and you basically just like eat your fill. Buffalo, well, they don't now because you can't go to the pub, but back in the day, mate, buffalo wings night. The sport on the massive, like it's like a sports bar, so there's just TVs everywhere with all the different sports on. That used to be one of my favourite nights. Going there, I used to go with a load of mates who were into like NFL stuff as well, and we used to book tickets to go and watch the Super Bowl at Shark Club. Unbelievable times, mate. But yeah, buffalo wings. Matt says bacon on maple donuts, complete and perfect creation. I've heard of that, mate, but never had one. It does sound absolutely delicious, I'll be honest. Tony says Al Murray has a great explanation of how bacon proves the existence of God. I do need to listen to that now. Scott says, I'll buy you one and bring it up. You're a legend, mate. Chip sop curry sauce, yes. Kenneth Paulson, bacon just works so well with everything, always stock up. John says, my birthday buddies are Carol Vorderman and Lightning from Gladiators. Where has this gone? This is the weirdest stream ever, and I absolutely love it. Scott says, what have I started? Palmsy said, order a kebab on stream, mate. Give the people what they want. I tell you what, mate, I will do next Wednesday. It's a bit late now, mate. I ain't eating a kebab at this time of night. A kebab special is essentially a pizza base with, I get them with garlic sauce on the pizza base, and then basically a kebab on the top of it. That's what a garlic bread special, like a garlic bread with kebab on the top. It's absolute filth, but like every once in the blue moon, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. Peter says, yep, I can see that. Me, the Hoff, Donald, and Angela Merkel, drunk, stupid, and no one understands each other. Scott says his wife shares her birthday with Mussolini. My God. Scott, Palmsy said, I made buffalo wings once. They were too nice. I never made them again. Yeah, you don't look like the kind of guy that eats a lot of buffalo wings, mate. From your size. Stu says, whoa, mind blown, I want one. There you go. Honestly, it's just a garlic bread. You can sometimes get them with the cheesy crusts as well, but garlic bread, I like to get either garlic sauce on them or, you know, like the pizza sauce, like the tomato sauce that you put on the base of a pizza. A bit of that on, kebab meat, bit of salad on the top. Honestly, absolute filth in a pizza box. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of a guilty pleasure. Peter said, weird. This is quality entertainment, you know. I tell you what, mate. If this is your idea of quality, mate, you've been going to the wrong places, that's for sure. Christian says, my birthday celebrities are Kirk Douglas, Judi Dench, Michael Dorn, and John Malkovich. I think I could get down with that party. Definitely much more than an Angela Merkel hangout. Pomsy says a kebab special sounds awesome. It is the nectar of the gods, mate. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yes, Kirk Douglas is a good actor, actually. Ben-Hur. He wasn't Ben-Hur, wasn't he? He was in Spartacus. Was he in Ben-Hur as well? I might have remembered that wrong. Scott says he shares his birthday with Brahms and Tchaikovsky. I'm pleased you typed that. Or did you cut and paste that, mate? I could never have typed that. Not tonight, anyway. Right, folks. 11:30. How long's that been? Has that been 3 hours, I think we've just been doing. I think we're going to call it a night there. So, I'll just read these last couple of comments here. Peter says, no, mate, this is the right place. Life's too short to keep it serious. You are right, mate. I agree. Christian said he's 102 this year. Kirk Douglas is 102. I was actually going to be really cheeky and ask if he was still alive. I wasn't sure he was still alive or not. Tony says, this is the most bonkers and best stream ever. Listen to Andy saying absolute filth and Angela Merkel in the same paragraph. It's enough to get me cackling. Lord Maiden says, let's keep going. Do folks still want to keep going? How many we got? We got 35 people in. If I can get 10 keep goings, we'll keep going for a bit longer because I'm having a good time, to be fair. Kirsten says, night night all. Thank you, Kirsten, for coming in. Thank you so much. Scott says, no, the wife told me how to spell it. Christian sharing the Patreon link. Thanks, mate. It's because you thought I was signing off there, mate. You come in, you did well. Blizzard says, my celeb birthdays are Rodney Dangerfield, Scarjo, and Jimmy. Who's Scarjo? I don't know who that is. Jamie Lee Curtis and Rodney Dangerfield, I don't know. How many is that? Age of Nagash said, happy birthday. Thank you very much. We got 1 keep going, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keep goings. If we get 4 more, we keep going. 5, 7. Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again on, says Steve. Keep going. Scarlett Johansson. Scarjo. I would never have got that, mate. Yeah. Everyone's saying keep going there. Have we got enough there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 10 there. Go on. I'll go on a little bit longer then. I might as well finish my wine. God knows what this is doing for my channel anyway. Yeah. So where the hell was I up to there then? We were talking about garlic bread specials. We were talking about ScarJo. I like that she will now, from now on, be ScarJo to me. I've never heard her called that before. Ben-Hur was played by Charlton Heston. There you go, mate. I think I was getting Charlton Heston and Kirk Douglas mixed up. Marcus says, go. Lobin says, yes, best stream. You lot, I tell you what, if you're finding this entertaining, you can tell you're almost locked down. Oh yeah, you can tell most of you are locked down if this is what your class is entertaining, mate. Tony says, I'm turning in, but this has been a fabulous mates chat. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Tony. Again, thank you for your donation tonight as well. It's been awesome having you in, mate. Thank you so much. Tasty Brindry says, I always enjoy your streams, and this is one of the best. Probably saying, don't forget to hit the dislike button, guys. Only 2 dislikes. One of those is just my normal hater who comes in and dislikes every video. The other one just thought that I'd probably gone a step too far with the garlic bread specials. I think that's what it was. I think it's like the curry batter bun was probably okay, but I think a garlic bread special has just kind of like turned the tide. And yeah, I don't think there's any coming back from that. I think essentially my YouTube career is over now. I'll be remembered as the garlic bread special guy. Love Maiden says, I'd rather watch you than about 95% of what's on TV. You're my number one show. I'm offended, Lord Maiden. What on earth do you think? What 5% of TV is better than this? Marcus says, Kirk Douglas passed away at the beginning of the year, the day before my birthday at 103. Do you know what it is, mate? I thought he wasn't around any longer, which is why I almost asked the question, but then I thought, maybe I remembered that wrong. Yeah, 103 is not a bad innings, though, mate, is it? Tasty Brain says, honestly, I needed this because I'm kind of bummed out because my Thanksgiving plans got cancelled. Tasty Brain Drain, we are here to reinstate Thanksgiving for you, mate. Lord Maiden says, Red Dwarf, you don't have the dreadlocks. I do on a weekend, mate. I do on a weekend. I wear a dreadlock wig. I go for the full-on dreadlocks. I look like kind of... I'm not even going to go down that route. I was going to say I look like some kind of weird Adele wannabe when she had all of that... she didn't have dreadlocks. She had what are they called? Buntus or something like that. Those weird hairstyles. I'm not even going to go down that route now. Tasty Brain Drain says, thanks, man. Yeah, do you know what it is, mate? Yeah. Nobody in this community is on their own, no matter what happens with lockdowns and cancelled plans and all that kind of stuff. Nobody is ever on their own. Lord Maiden says, carry fish's buns. Only if they were curry battered buns. Then that would be the case. Peter says, it's basically Thanksgiving, mate. We gave and Andy said thanks. There you go, mate. 103 is a good long haul. I'd be happy with 103, mate. I'll be honest with you. And Peter says, we'd do it again. You are a legend, Peter. Thank you. Busey says, might have to eat a cold hot dog after all this food talk. Oh, I tell you what. I normally come off these live streams, I kind of a bit wired after talking for quite some time. Even if it's late, you kind of like you almost need to kind of wind down a little bit, and that is a terrible time for me. That's the point where I tend to sit downstairs, have a cup of tea or something before I go to bed, and then I get the munchies because I'm kind of like I'm still awake and I'm kind of winding down. It's an awful time, and then we talk about food. Bloody hell. Pomsy said, battered burgers are pretty good, bad. I don't think I've ever had a battered burger, mate. Oh, I suppose I've had like kind of like corned beef patties and stuff like that, like from chip shops and stuff. Scott says, which 3 champions are going to use on our first game? They've got to. Ooh, I probably pick up. Who would I pick? Rangosh. BlackJack, maybe Kira. I might try those ones. Peter says, you guys know what a Bicky burger is? A Bicky burger? I've never heard of a Bicky burger, mate. Marcus says, I need to figure out what to eat tonight since everything in the fridge is for dinner tomorrow. Scott says, oh, I need a cowboy special now. I'm trying to remember what a cowboy special is, mate. Do you know what a taxi driver special is? Do you remember those? A taxi driver special was from the Chinese. Battered spam is a big thing here in Leeds. Battered spam? Is it really, mate? Mark said he had pizza yesterday. It's been ages since I had a pizza. It's been ages. That's not good. How did that happen? Lord Maiden said, I've been woken up early by the cat playing what would be waking up. I've done 9 hours of work, had a shower and 2-hour crash. This has been absolutely fantastic. Just what a doctor prescribed. Thank you, mate. That is awesome. Marcus, Andy said it, Chinese food. Where was that one? Yeah, Chinese. That's the way to do it. Yeah. Peter said there's a burger with 3 special sauces, mixed and fried onion chips on top, available everywhere around here. Why is it called a Bicky burger then? Where's the name come from? Yeah, a taxi driver special, which is why I was talking about that one as well, was from the Chinese, and it was essentially a taxi driver special was chips. You know how you come in foil trays? Well, maybe they don't where you are. Chinese tends to come in foil trays and stuff like that. And it was a foil tray with chips in it, fried rice over the top, and then Chinese curry sauce over the top of that. So it was essentially like rice, chips, and curry sauce. But it was called a taxi driver special because all the taxi drivers used to buy it because they could sit in their car and eat it basically. Yeah, taxi driver specials. Battered sausages, battered burger, and a load of chips and batter. I don't think I've ever had battered burger, mate. Maybe I haven't lived. Cowboy special, I like that, mate, with more butter. Peter says, because that's the name of the sauce. Bicky. A Bicky to me is almost like what kids call biscuits. Like, do you want a Bicky with your milk? Like, that's kind of a thing. Lord Maiden says, that's one thing I've missed, a proper fish and chip shop meal. Yeah, do you know what it is? I'm dead fortunate where I live. I live right on the coast in the northeast. And there are obviously there's a little kind of fishing, like at North Shields is where all the kind of fishing boats and stuff come in, and we have some of the most amazing like fish and chip like restaurants and stuff like that here, and there is nothing better. So not far from me there's a place called Tynemouth, which is a really old, like there's an old priory there. It's like an old like sort of monastery type thing. And it overlooks the sea. And basically where Tynemouth Priory is at the end, right on the coast, there's a high street, kind of like a main street down Tynemouth. And there is the most amazing fish and chip shop there. And there's nothing better in the summer than to go down to this fish and chip shop, get a portion of fish and chips, and then go and sit on the grass, overlooking the sea at Tynemouth Priory, and just kind of watch the world go by and have your fish and chips. Honestly, it's one of like life's like little luxuries that I am massively missing. One, because the weather is awful, and two, because you can't just go and sit with a bunch of people and sit and have like a bit of a fish and chip like picnic thing. It's awesome. Stu saying cheesy chili chips is my favourite. Chips on the bottom, then chili, then cheese. Tony's, I thought it was because it was always got spilt in the back of taxis. It probably did, mate, as well. Kenneth Paulson says bread and butter with brown cheese. What's brown cheese, mate? Am I being stupid? Brown cheese. Marcus is saying, oh God, my mum just started baking a pecan pie. Lord, mate. Okay, Marcus, we're all on our way to yours, mate. Can you just make sure there's enough to go around? Yeah, Tony's saying, what's brown cheese? Norwegian cheese. Do you know what it is? That there's a Scandinavian cheese that absolutely stinks, isn't it? I forget what it's called. Oh no, I don't think it is cheese. It might be a fish. It's been a long day. My God. Right, folks. I think we really have reached the bottom of my entertainment tonight. Tastes like caramel. Oh, sounds nice now. I am going to call it a night now. So, folks, thank you. Yes, Lord Benson, you mean the fish that absolutely stinks? It makes people gag. It's awful, isn't it? Anyway, I am going to wrap it up now. Thank you again, every single one of you. Thank you for all of the support that you've shown me tonight. Thank you for coming out and hanging out for my birthday. It's been great to have a bunch of friends here, just to hang out, talk absolute bollocks, and just have a good chill. I think I really needed it tonight. So take care. I will see you next Monday in the live stream. Peter says stinky cheese. But yeah, just take care, everyone. Remember, happy Thanksgiving to all of you stateside. If you are on your own, reach out. Do not kind of spend Thanksgiving or Christmas on your own. Reach out. There are people to talk to. There's plenty of us around. Any one of us will kind of at least engage in a conversation, so you don't feel that you had the whole day to yourself. So don't be alone. Take care, and I will see you next Monday, or in the Discord or in the Facebook groups. So thanks a lot, folks. Take care. Thanks for watching my video. I hope that you really enjoyed it. And if you did, why not consider clicking on the suggested video below to see more of the work that I've done. If you'd like to support the long-term sustainability of this channel, why not consider checking out my Patreon, where you can pledge and support from as little as $2 a month. And there is lots of different tiers and bonuses, which will give you access to a private Discord server. It will give you free t-shirts, free mugs, a podcast every month, and a number of other things, including getting your name at the end of every video, like these awesome folks who already support me now.